So, as per usual, we'll start on a lighter note here. I have an American Monster. It's pretty good. It's a new flavor, actually.
New flavor Monster. They even have a new emblem on it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's like a white can, but it's not sweet. It tastes like urine. Today, episode 2, guns. And everything that goes with them.
Guns, and more guns.
Firearms and 2A, baby. So, what topic do you want to start on? What are you feeling?
Anything really. I mean, this podcast is kind of like a nice, fun, chillax podcast. You know?
Oh yeah. Let's preface. People weren't here last time when we said this, but this isn't the type of podcast where we're here to give you news or anything. Most of this is opinion based, and we're wrong a lot. That's pretty much it.
This is two men having a private conversation in public.
This is really just what we would normally talk about in a Discord call, except we're streaming it to get money so that we can shoot guns.
So we can shoot more. You see,
exactly.
This is a message, like a dream every man can have. If this podcast can get me 50 more cents, that's like 9 mil out the chamber.
Exactly. Or 2 if we're going to reload. Start with some easy stuff. Let's just talk about our favorite guns. Before we get into the politics and the calibers and
rifles. What are you talking about?
Let's go long rifles. I feel like that's a shorter topic for us.
Okay. For me, I obviously like 12 gauge shotguns. I'm a real I quite enjoyed pump actions, especially the Remington 870. I really liked yours.
Oh yeah.
I liked
nice gun.
At the shop we have a 870 Wingmaster. That thing's really nice. It's just like a more expensive 870.
Gotcha. I have no idea what model 870 I have. I just know it's an 870. And
I looked it up, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Because it had the gold.
It has the gold trigger on it. Yeah, which I think is fucking weird, but
that's a specific model with the gold trigger. I can't. It's not in my brain.
I know it was one of the cheaper options. It was like 500 out the door. But yeah, 870's fucking reliable as shit. I mean, that's really just pump shotguns, honestly. You can't really go wrong. Even the cheapest ones are decent.
You get yourself a Savage, they're like fucking $300 to $400, dude. They'll run.
Oh yeah. The only thing I wouldn't buy is a Hatfield, but they still run. The problem is that they rust, and then you end up having fucking cavitation and shit. But, anyways, yeah. I'd say shotguns. I like 870s. I want to have an over-under really bad. Most of it is just, they're kind of what you get for clays, and that's all I shoot, really.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, hunting?
Well, yeah, hunting, yeah. They have the 3-round limit for pretty much everything.
It's 3 rounds, so you lose 1, but you don't have to, every time you get your shotgun out, get a thing to stop your loading, like a loading stopper.
Yeah.
Because you can't just load 3. You have to physically inhibit it from loading 3.
True. And plus for reloading, shells are always in good shape. And they're reliable and fucking easy. You can take them all the way down in 15 seconds.
Yeah, wasn't it just a pin? You pull something back, the stock just fucking comes off, and the barrel just pulls off.
You pull off the fucking handguard and then fold it a little more than usual, and you got 3 pieces, and that's really it.
And it's done.
So yeah,
barrel cleaning is even easier. You just fucking
just
drop
crack it open and throw it through. Oh yeah.
Yeah, a 45 or whatever. Any thick snake through that shit.
All
the way through.
If it fits, it sits. But
yeah.
All right, well then let's move into rifles then. The easy one, AK or AR? What are you starting with? Or what do you prefer? If you had to buy one right now, which one would you buy? Same price, all that.
I'd buy an AR-15.
Okay.
I think AKs are usually on the heftier side. Like they're usually more than an AR-15. Like I can get an AR for like $500 if I really wanted to.
True.
An AK, you're looking like 7 or 8 usually.
Yeah.
Unless you want like the cheapest of shit, like plastic and shit, and like you're getting down to like real shit territory.
Yeah. Well, I think the main thing is, my main concern when shooting anything is money, because I'm broke. Now we have the ammo ban and everything, and
the Russian ammo ban.
Yeah.
Buying AK mags has to be more than AR mags.
Yeah. Well, like, you don't have PMags for AKs that are as widely available as PMags for ARs.
Oh, yeah. AR fucking mags are everywhere, and they're cheap. It's like $20 a mag or something, $30 a mag.
Oh, yeah. Versus
you want the metal
60.
ones, they might be like 40 or something. Yeah, but like the average plastic mag you'll find at every gun store is for like $20.
Oh, yeah. I think my main...
really nothing.
Like, I lean AR, too. And my main thing is, like, upgradability. You can buy a dirt shit cheap AR, put parts in it, and it runs really well.
They are the number one most aftermarket gun you can buy.
It's like buying a Honda. Like,
there's just shit everywhere. Like, you need a part for an AR, every gun store will have a part. Or any place, like, you will get it within a week. You need an AK part? I don't know. I've never tried to buy an AK part.
Me neither. Yeah.
But you want to get an AK upper? I've never seen one. Like,
no, they're just not built like that.
Yeah, like you go to fucking gun stores, they just have racks of like Build-A-Bear AR-15s. You know, you pull up and it's like, oh, you want this stock? You want this upper? This lower? Here, this one right here, and they just have it in stock. You need anything? It's like a Glock. It's the same idea.
A lot of shops here, in my state at least, you don't just go to a shop and buy an AR unless it's like the range or it's used. Normally you go there, at least in my town, and they're like, hey, here are your options. You could have this upper, this lower, these barrels, this stock, this handguard, whatever. They either put it together for you or you could put it together and then you're set.
You literally build a bear, an AR, and then go home.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just so, like, there is a AR for everyone. And if that's 22, that's 22.
That's 22.
If it's 5.56, you need it for home defense, you're just fun at the range. Boom, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anything, other reason, I don't know, you have wild hogs in your neighborhood. You have medium-sized game that aren't deer that you need to hunt.
Yeah, I mean, even deer, if you wanted to hunt deer, 223 will work fine. Maybe not as good as, a 308 or whatever.
Like a 30-06, some bigger, something like a 45-70 kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But they'll get the job done.
Oh, for sure.
And then you wanna do anything, and if that's not good enough, 450 Bushmaster. Get a big fucking modern sporting rifle.
Oh yeah.
AR-15 style rifle. Go hunt anything.
Even getting a fucking AR-10 7.62 will run fucking great.
And really any situation you need hunting wise or any large thing you need to shoot, ARs have something for you. And they're going to be comfortable because they are so aftermarket. You can find anything for them.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure the AR-10 is probably just as customizable as the AR-15 in terms of like, I'm sure they're all interchangeable. Like you can just, I need this. I
think the lowers are the same even.
Yeah, like the upper, obviously different mechanism and all, right? But you take an AR-22 and you get an AR-15, the fucking back, the front, like everything's going to pretty much be the same.
Oh yeah. I mean, even 50 Beowulf ARs. You can turn your standard M&P 15 Sport into a fucking 50 Beowulf
AR if needed.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah.
It's just so customizable.
It's expensive, but yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This ain't paying for it right here.
Yeah, right? I'm fucking broke.
But you could do it.
Yeah.
That's what we're telling you. It's just the perfect platform in my opinion. It just has everything. You look at an AR-15 and none of them are the same. Everyone has their own sort of build, their own like thing. I like style. That. It's unique. It's like I wouldn't say artistic. It's not like art, but it's like it's like a car. You get into someone's someone has their Accord. They got it.
Oh yeah.
Decked out. Maybe they made like a sleeper
radio and sleep. Well, yeah. Sleeper guns are a little different, but yeah.
Not like that. You know what I mean? Like, it looks boring, but the thing runs like great, you know, sort of thing. Like, it's kind of like the card game where it's like everyone loves seeing their customers. I love seeing like at the range, you know, someone has some like crazy fucking attachment and
shit.
They got like their you know, their front hand guards like a metal and it's like painted orange. Like, that shit's so cool. It's just, it's part of the hobby.
Yeah. And now like what F1 firearms and shit with skeletonized ARs, then you're really talking like works of art when the gun looks
it gets to that point. Like, there's something like you've ever seen like obviously break open shotguns. They have like literal like beautiful art engravings that like show pictures on them and shit. Like, they're like luxurious.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the problem that I have with over-unders now. You can't get them cheap. You're looking at like $550, $600 for your cheapest option, where 10 years ago that was the budget shotgun that you would get instead of a pump, unless you bought like a used cop Remington 870 from the 80s. But and I would still buy one of those, honestly. But
I would too. That's kind of badass.
Oh yeah.
It's like
fuck yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But anyways, I still do love AKs. I think they have a place, but price, nah. And even like usability, like if you want to get a more usable AK that doesn't kick as much as 7.62, and 7.62 isn't a hard round to shoot, but you want it cheaper, like you could get 5.45, which is still like a pretty volatile priced round. Then you're not getting an AK-47, you're getting an AKM, or whatever 5.45 version of an AK you want. But
I think it's there's like the like 74 and there's the 101. There's a bunch of different 5.45 AKs.
Yeah, and like that's the thing with 7.62 is more accepted. Like you see a lot of pre-built 7.62 ARs versus just AKs. But the Americans it's 5.56 or 7.62. Russians at 7.62 or 5.45, and 5.45 is pretty much the same as 5.56. But
I just feel like in the AK system, like 5.56 doesn't work as well. I don't know, like maybe it's just me, but it's like the reason you want like a 5.56, you want a lightweight rifle. They can kind of
fast moving around,
fast gun, fast moving. You know, it's light. It's supposed to be comfortable. And AKs are comfy and all, but you're hunking around a giant metal and wood stock AK typically, or just a full metal AK. And it's like you have this giant bolt. You have to like it's loud as shit. It's huge. It's it's like clanky. It's a very. I feel like it's overkill. Not like overkill in the sense like nothing's overkill, but I just mean like if I'm shooting a 22, I don't want a fucking AK style thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the other thing with like weird chambers or weird rounds. At least you could get an AR in any fucking round. I've seen fucking 50 BMG AR style.
I'm sure there's 9mm ARs, 45 AR. I'm sure someone's done it.
Oh yeah, we know there's 22 ARs, but even 22 AKs, like they have them for sure. They're all shit. Firstly, but they just don't have options. Like off the top of my head, I can name like 4 brands that make 22 LR ARs. I can't name a single AK in 22.
Smith & Wesson, easily.
Yeah. Tippmann. Colt.
Tippmann.
What would the last one be? F1, I'm sure, makes 22 AR.
F1. Everyone makes
22 ARs.
I'm sure every company has a 22 variant AR.
I'm sure they make a kit to convert your regular AR to a 22.
I bet. I'm even going to take a peek and see if there's anyone who makes 22 AKs as a normal thing.
I know I've seen them before, especially on like Cheaper Than Dirt, and they're still like 600
Apparently,
for 22.
Rock Island Armory has one, and Mossberg has one.
Really?
But they look fucking
disgusting.
Weird. They look fucked. I hate this.
Believe it.
This should be a cursed. I'm gonna. Oh shit!
Pull it up, bro. You won't.
I'm gonna.
Yo, bet.
I need to paste it into the fucking thing.
Oh, gotcha.
If you're looking at stream.
Let me.
This is what we're talking about here. This is the 22 LR AK, and I don't think it's made from a real AK. I think It's just its own thing.
That? It doesn't look like an AK.
The bolt's so tight. Like, that's definitely not like, this isn't just an AK that got converted or even based. This is just like a gun that shoots 22 that they just made look like an AK, I think.
Yeah. Gross.
I doubt there's anything really Kalashnikov made from it.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not.
That's just straight heresy is actually what that is.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
The other one there's another one that looks alright, but it still looks just as bad. There's not much difference. But it's like, you pick up a 22 LR fucking AR. I've held a lot of them. I've checked them out, I'm at the store and all that.
Yeah.
Checking them out. And like, they're nice. They feel exactly like, the only difference, like really, like if you don't have a mag in it and someone just hands you it,
yeah,
it's like the weight is a little lighter, but then you flip it and it's just the chamber's a lot smaller. But even then, they kind of keep it the same size, so you see a lot of the metal part, so it looks kind of close. But if you know what an AR chamber looks like, you'll tell immediately. Like it's not big enough, but it's so close that it's like you could mistake it for one.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing with, if I am gonna get a 22 AR, it's gonna be a Tippmann, because as far as I know, the Tippmann is the only 22 LR AR that has a full like buffer system.
Yeah.
All the other ones are just blocked, and like at least it functions like an actual AR. And I think that's the whole point of buying a 22 LR version of another gun, is you want it to like transpose to the real thing.
The most common reason to buy a 22, and the reason I think 22s are great to buy, is for training.
Oh,
and most people buy so cheap. The exact gun they have in 22, and even in some cases airsoft. I know an instructor at a range who he personally has a 22 version and airsoft version of every major gun he uses, because he wants an airsoft version for when he's at home and he wants to practice in his house. Like, say he wants to do a clearing drill or he wants to clear his house. He's not going to walk around with a real gun unloaded. It's just not safe. Even when it's unloaded, you shouldn't be pointing it around. It's not a great idea, right? So they'll take their airsoft gun, which can't harm anyone, really.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
it's made to shoot people. Yeah, he'll get his airsoft gun and he'll do that around the house. And run around. And like, it's for training. It really is. And like 22 was like that good ground where it's like, you're not shooting an airsoft gun, which has no kick and feels like nothing. You're still shooting a projectile. You're getting the job done, but you're also getting familiarized with the firearm.
With the platform.
And it's cheap.
And it's
That's
cheap.
the big thing. You don't want to go to the range every week and shoot 9mm through your, like, let's say your everyday carry, your firearm you're going to carry on you. You don't want to start wearing it down. Like, you want to use it enough, but like, you don't want to go to the range every week and just pop off your carry.
Well, that, and like, say you're running 9mm right now, especially 9mm is fucking expensive. I wouldn't want to go to the range every week or even once a month and waste 9mm.
It's like 100 rounds. I paid $60 for 100 rounds. Which is like almost 40 cents a round or something. Like that's crazy.
Not worth it.
And for 100 rounds, that doesn't feel like anything. And I split
like
between two people.
An hour. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I split between two people, so for me, I shot probably around 50 rounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And this was like peak ammo crisis too. This was like back in the summer, but still, like, that's rough. Like, I'd want to have a full day of shooting, like 1,000 rounds maybe, probably less, and that's like
rounds, 500 rounds,
$300-400 right now, I think, for 9mm. So, but 1,000 rounds of 22 is like $100 if you're unlucky. So
like between $75 and $100 currently in a shit time to buy ammo. Oh yeah. And the more bulk you buy, like you buy like 2,000 rounds, it gets cheaper. Like you can buy an absolute shit ton and shoot for weeks. I've watched people go to the range, and they'll shoot 600 rounds at 22 for like 4 hours. You know, like practicing whatever. They do competition,
drills,
maybe they do sport. Yeah, they'll practice, and it's great. Like if you had let's say you carry a Glock, right, just a common pistol. You have a Glock. You go to the range of a 22 Glock every weekend, and you shoot I don't know, 100 rounds.
100 rounds, 200 rounds, yeah.
Make 2 little boxes, right? Or maybe one long box. If you get the longer, like the Federals and stuff.
Yeah. The bricks.
But, you know, you shoot 100 rounds, you're gonna be great with the platform. You're gonna get so used to slide, you know, like the buttons, like you're gonna get comfy with
getting
that
a sight picture, all that.
It's gonna be a little lighter, a little smaller, usually. Usually not the same thickness, but like it's the same concept.
Yeah.
It's like riding a tricycle versus your bicycle. You're riding a bike with training wheels and then your real bike. It's different, but you're getting it helps you.
Yeah. Well, that was the one thing with you know, T-Rex Arms on YouTube. He does like I don't even know if it's 3-gun. He just runs drills and stuff and makes it look pretty with B-roll and stuff. He did a whole talk about, because like he goes to the range every week and shoots off like 500 rounds of 5.56, at least 500 rounds of 9mm or whatever else he's carrying. That gets expensive. And he had a whole talk of like, you guys don't have to come to the range once a week and spend $500 on ammo.
Yeah.
Like you can do dry runs with your equipment. And like he explained and showed like different drills to run and like, you know, getting a sight picture and stuff, but he still admits nothing's better than live fire when you're training. But live fire with a 22 is pretty much the same as live fire with a 9mm. It's, you know, less recoil and all that. But it's better than just sitting in your bedroom pointing at the wall, you know, just getting a sight picture.
With like one of the fucking laser snap caps.
Oh, yeah. It's even with like first shot accuracy doesn't matter on caliber at all. You could shoot 50 AE all day if you're just doing first round accuracy versus a 22, and there'll be no difference because the recoil doesn't even matter.
It's not about the recoil. It's about follow through. It's about the core principles of shooting. You know, getting your isosceles position down while you know, firing, getting whatever
drawing
you need.
And
let's say you do like one-handed 22 combo, even better. Now you're in a sport and you're doing 22, so you don't have to spend that much. So now you're in a cheap sport versus like high power sports where you got to spend a shit ton of money on 5.56.
Well, like 3-gun, we do have 3-gun competitions here, and you can enter. Usually it's free unless it's like, you know, higher level shit or like private clubs. But even if you get first place in those, you don't win anything. Like you get not even like a trophy. You get like a piece of paper that's like, oh, you placed first in whatever competition.
Or unless it's like gambling or something with that,
or like if there's a buy-in or something like that.
Yeah, like a buy, like pay 15, and all the money that you buy in, whoever wins it all, or
gets
whatever.
It all. Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe it's sponsored, but at that point, you gotta be pretty fucking
good to be in a sponsored match. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're gonna need to be up there.
Oh yeah, but like that's the thing. If you're shooting 3-gun, if they don't have a caliber limitation, like I wouldn't bring a 5.56 or a 7.62. I wouldn't bring a 9mm, and I wouldn't bring a 12 gauge. I'd bring like a 36 gauge or even a 410, because most of the time on the shotgun half there are clays. Sometimes they're just stationary, or you're just shooting steel. Save your money and spend more time at the range, because it's about range time, not shooting time.
If you shoot one handgun, if you shoot 22s all day, someone gives you a 9mm, you could shoot 9mm all day. Like there's not much of a difference. You're really it's like your hand will kick a little more and you have to adjust for that, but like in the terms of aligning it's exactly the same. Once you pull the trigger, if you can just not like fling your gun and you just you know, hold on, get that one shot, you're fine.
Yeah, and I feel like it'll help with like the pre-shot flinch, where like you anticipate the recoil and like lean into it. If you're shooting 22, you're not going to be afraid of recoil. Like that'll help for sure.
If you shoot like, and even there's some drills where it's like, you know the drills where it's like they get like a revolver and like they put them in at random and you don't know where it's gonna shoot, so it's like you have to get used to just like nothing, bang, nothing, bang. So you don't like anticipate it. Do some of that. Get a 22 revolver, and I mean, don't spam your hammer or nothing, because that messes with revolvers.
That'll fuck it up.
Don't like mess with it, but you know, slowly just like shoot and get used to the feeling of not, you know, get used to like unexpectedness of it not firing, and that'll help you not be like so like
no flinching, no shaking.
Get ready. Yeah.
Oh, and that people who hold their guns too tight, like they're shaking, holding on to the fucking thing.
Yeah, and like then, I even have that issue. I do that sometimes without even thinking about it because I'm just like, oh, I gotta, okay, make sure it doesn't move, and then I'm holding it, and it's like this like squeeze.
Yeah,
it's like making me go left and right, and I'm not even noticing.
Yeah, well, especially with pistol,
like a lot of it's like handling.
Yeah, well, especially with pistol because you want to get the sight picture back as quickly as you can, and your brain just thinks if I hold it tighter, it's not going to kick as much, which isn't really true.
Yeah, it's better to have it a grip that's
let the recoil
effective but
beat
loose.
Your ass
like you're not going to lose the gun, but like let it pull your hands up, and then just go back and just adjust for it after. Like let it do its thing. It's not. I don't know how. If anyone gets like this, you're shooting 50 AE, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Get it up and then just, maybe adjust your hands, get it down.
Oh yeah.
Keep doing that if you have to. Make sure it's safe, but like allow it to be loose, because if you're gonna squeeze it, it's probably less safe when you're shooting at unintended things.
Oh yeah. Well, that's something that I don't like when people are shit talking like the Glock 44 and like the M&P 2.0 22 and even like 22 ARs. They're like, you're not getting shit out of it. And like I understand when they're like, yeah, they're shit guns, because they are shit guns. 22 doesn't run very happily a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's unreliable.
It's rimfire, but like there's so much useful shit you can get out of that. And you could afford it. Like it's just like judging someone on their car. Like if someone's driving a Prius, a lot of people are like, oh, fucking pussy. And then they see some dude driving a Corvette and they're like, oh yeah, that's a nice fucking car. Like, yeah, it's a nice car. But like, this guy's trying to get to work and save money. And this guy's just trying to show off. And like, a lot of people aren't just showing off by going to the range, but if there's a guy there with a fucking Barrett M82, he's showing off. He's not there to...
He's there to show off.
Have fun. He's
there
to...
record it with his friends or something.
Exactly.
Which is still like kind of showing off.
Oh, yeah. And like, I get if you're going to buy the gun, you're going to shoot it, but...
Oh, yeah.
Or like, your buddy's coming up and you want to see how he does with a 50. That's whatever. Yeah. But, oh, that's a good time. But... Like,
but you still bought it to show it to your friends about how cool
you're not buying a 50 BMG for self-defense.
To use anything.
Yeah, it's there for fun. Yeah,
or unless you're like trying to hit tanks or something in the army, you're not using a 50 BMG for anything.
But yeah, it's the same thing with sports cars. Sure, that car's fast as fuck. Where are you gonna drive that fast? There's speed limits. Like, come on, but. Anyways, let's go to the next topic because we can sit on this one for a minute.
Well, just to like wrap up the thing about 22. 22 it was made to literally like it was made for hunting and for like training. It was literally just like here's a small
did you just
bullet.
Run a fucking ad. You fucking dick. All right, sorry. Continue.
But 22 was made pretty much for hunting small game. And in its modern use is for like training, and it's just the best gun to start anyone off, like children especially. It's such a small bullet. It helps train everyone. It's like I've seen most older shooters who are amazing, like who could kick anyone's ass in shooting. I've seen like they will be one-handed with fucking Parkinson's, like their hands are shaking violently. And they're like going like this, and like their hands are completely shaking. You can barely hold a one hand and fuck a bullseye 50 feet out. No problem at all. Just hit bullseyes for days. And it's like, and they're using 22s, and like someone would see that and be like, it's just a 22, man, that's not that cool. But like that dude, like people take it as like it's not cool enough
being accurate.
But those people I feel like don't appreciate like shooting in like a competitive capacity or just any capacity. It's like not just look, big gun go burr, this gun looks cool while it shoots.
Like, I understand people that are, like, they go to the range because they have a gun and they, like, want to shoot it to, like, either keep up to date with, like, knowing your gun and all that, and that's fine. Like, they don't care too much about accuracy, but if it's a guy who's into guns that doesn't respect the competitive nature of it, like, what are you doing? Like, that's the whole thing with, like, sporting clays. A lot of the guys at the place that I go to by me, they don't keep track. They don't do nothing. They're just there to shoot a shotgun. Like, if you want to shoot a shotgun, you could go anywhere, but you had to come here and pay triple the price just to be in a, like, cooler looking environment, I guess, to shoot clays.
Yeah, like it's about the sport of it. Like people I don't understand. Like I understand it, but like a lot of people see the sport of 20, like, oh, you're shooting at 22, and they're like, oh, that's just a whim gun, that's a kid gun.
Oh yeah.
And really, it's like, yeah, it's not meant to be.
Like it's a weak gun. I'll give them that. Yeah.
People need to understand. It's not every gun you own has to be the most powerful, crazy, effective, best gun ever. Yeah. You can have a gun and shoot it because you like it.
Yeah.
You can have a gun and go to the range because you want to practice. Like you could shoot 22s and show it off on the internet and feel cool about it.
Oh yeah.
Like people like to shit on that. Like I saw a guy shoot some crazy dude shoot like an apple off someone's head, like the old thing with a bow, but with a fucking 22. And everyone's like, oh, it's a 22, it's easy. And it's like, okay, so are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
You gonna let your friend shoot a 22 at your head? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
No, you're fucking not. It's cool.
Well, like, you know 22 Plinkster, right? On YouTube?
I think so.
Yeah, the dude's fucking cracked. He'll cut a playing card in half with a 22 from 100 meters away. And like,
people still talk shit about.
And people are like, bro, do it with a 45, do it with a 9. Like, you don't respect the fact that he just shot a playing card in half sideways.
It's because people that haven't shot, I shot 22 competition. People don't understand like how difficult it is.
Yeah.
You are shooting, right?
Yeah.
This, all right. This is what you're shooting at.
Yeah.
50 feet away.
Yeah.
Through an iron sight. And if you don't hit dead in the middle of this, if I put a Sharpie mark and you don't hit that, you now have -1 and you're not in the top 10. Like you're not like in junior and like junior rifle and in high school, you can hit around the whole dime just fine. Right? You can hit here, this is a 9, this is a 9, anywhere further is 8, 6, you know, it's not good. Right?
Yeah.
You can hit this just fine. And then junior, like the young kids who aren't even in the high school league, they can hit wherever. They can hit the paper for all I care. But once you get into actual pros, if you're in the Olympics and you don't hit a 10, you've lost the Olympics. If you haven't
that's like a game
every shot.
It's just like bowling of you pretty much go until someone doesn't get a strike.
Yeah.
As soon as someone doesn't get a strike, they're pretty much out, unless the other guy fucks up too, which is pretty rare when you're at that level.
Yeah, it's either like clays. It's you wait till someone fucks up and misses, right?
Well, yeah, that's like the competitions are endless. They just keep going. If you shoot it and the other guy shoots it, you go again. If you miss and the other guy misses, you go again, and you just keep going until somebody hits it and somebody misses, and then you have a winner.
The only reason 22 like works as a competition because everyone would just get the same point is because not everyone's on their A game every day and they mess up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And usually it's like the way they'll determine it is like if there's a little bit of line left on someone's, and like they have to between who's the winner, they'll be like that line right there, this little, not even a centimeter on your dot.
Yeah.
It's literally like the bullseye on a 22 target is the size of the 22, like perfect.
Yeah.
It's like a pen.
You're cutting out the color part of the target. Pretty much.
If that's a little bit there, you've lost to the next guy, and it's like. You would literally need to shoot this from 50 feet. You can't even see this in my camera from here. Like, that's the problem. Like, you got to hit this, and people don't respect that. It's like, like it's just a 22. I want to see you do it. Like, I thought it was easy. I went to the range and did it. Not as easy as I thought it was. It really wasn't.
Well, that and, like, positions, too. Like, you're on your knee where you can't really breathe that great. Like, hunched over a gun.
Like, proning is not too bad. It's probably the easiest. But even then, like, to hit a perfect bullseye, it's difficult unless you train once a week.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not coming back and, like, learning the positions, doing what you need to do, if you're not, like, you got to go on, like, kneeling is horrible. It hurts your feet, your knees. It's like, it's not
ankles are sore.
They make you do it uncomfortably because that's the standard. Like, you can't be comfortable. So you're sitting there and your hands are shaking because you can't feel your legs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, and then you have standing. You're holding a fucking 10-pound heavy as shit piece of shit 22 that they make extremely heavy on purpose.
Yep.
And you have to like not breathe or move perfectly, squeeze slowly, and hit a dime from 50 feet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Without a scope.
Yeah.
Or a foregrip.
I couldn't do it. Like, cause I respect the competitive nature of it, but I couldn't fucking do it. That shit is like, I'll try, but I can't compete. Nowhere.
That's why I think it needs respect. It's like, you can say I don't want to, because like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Right? I like, the only 22 thing I want to get into is maybe like one hand shooting. Like bullseye shooting, one hand. Right? But like, it's such a hard sport and people don't understand it. And that's the problem. And plus too, that's just shooting one target. We're not even talking doing 4P2 target, which means you'd be sitting and kneeling for like 30 minutes, not moving. Or you fuck up everything, you have to resight your gun. And it's just the most slow. You have to be patient. There's so much things. I can go on for hours about it. But it needs to be respected just more by people. Respect the people who want to do a sport. Don't bash on them because they only have a 22 and that's a wimp gun. Just because they don't have a foregrip and it's not a giant rifle doesn't mean it's not acceptable.
But yeah, we'll move on to our next topics here. Let's we could go on all fucking day. What do we got? You wanna you feeling either obscure guns or laws about guns?
I guess we could start with some obscure guns. I don't really have a lot.
Me neither.
Obscure guns.
Yeah. Well, okay, the Liberator. That's a good example. Liberator's fucking funny. That's a good one. Yeah. So those that don't know what the Liberator is, you know more history about it than I do, but from what I understand, it's a 45 ACP piece of shit that. What was it, like the FBI or something?
The FBI or the CIA.
Yeah.
One of the two.
One of them just said, hey, what's the cheapest gun we can make? Just cheapest. And they came up with this, which I could pull up a picture of it really quick for the stream. If I could find my browser. There we go.
I have one up on my stream as well, just so I don't have to jump into yours.
Oh yeah, makes it easier.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is what we're working with. So yeah, it's two things. Firstly, it was the first 3D printed gun, I believe. But the OG it was World War II, right? I think.
Yeah, well, these were made in World War II as a gun that was airdropped to the resistance, usually in France, but also all around Europe and I think even in some places in Africa, but it was mostly a European thing. But they would pretty much they'd go to the French resistance or whatever resistance, and they would drop these and try to communicate that to the resistance, like, hey, and the next day you're gonna see a thing come out of the sky, go get it. We filled with these things and probably a couple boxes of ammo. So someone would take a handful of rounds in this one-shot pistol, which is made of the cheapest stuff. I remember watching a video about it, a documentary about it.
Steel.
And they were like, we need the cheapest and fastest gun you can make out of the simplest parts. Yeah. And essentially the way it works is there's a trigger and it's bolt. I don't know if you want to call it single action or bolt action, but whatever.
Yeah.
You pull the back right and twist so it leaves the chamber open. You put a bullet in that, right? And then you would take that and you would walk around with it pretty much. You would find a German soldier or whatever
or
occupying
whoever. Yeah.
And you would take this, and the idea was that you would go up, take your one round, eliminate the target, and then hopefully you'd steal all of his shit or get intelligence or do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
Right? Take all his stuff, take his gun, bring it back to the resistance and become stronger.
Yeah.
And over time, you would steal, maybe you'd rob a truck with it. Maybe you'd take a German convoy, there's one truck and it's going back and forth, doesn't expect anything, and boom, the driver's down, right? That was the whole point of it. And
it worked.
They were effective. They did their job. People worked with them. They weren't the best. The way they stored the ammo was in the bottom. There's a little tag. It's not a magazine, but it's literally just a metal
just hole. Like a hole in the gun with a little panel at the bottom you can put on,
and it pulls down, and they would just have a couple rounds in there, and they'd pull it out and pull it back, put it in, and strike it.
I mean it worked, and it looks scuffed, but I believe
it did
Demo Ranch did a video about the Liberator, or with a Liberator, and from what I understand, pretty much unusable to modern standards, but it worked, and that's really all they wanted. So I mean, big respect for it.
It did its job. It took 45. and it's very undocumented how much like it works. Like there's not much info, but there was one documented case of a German officer getting killed with one in the war. Like he ran up to him, shot him. I don't know the whole story, but like they've been used.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how great they were, but they were used nonetheless.
Yeah. Fucking
that's really like that's like the only obscure gun I get.
That's really the only one I know. Yeah. That and the 3D printed one.
So bad. Yeah, the 3D printed Liberator, which look, it's not even that similar. It's just the idea that it's like a one-shot gun that can be
kind of like a
3D printer,
like a Derringer style.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a Derringer little, like it shoots once and it does the job.
Yeah,
and it was just the easiest gun that person 3D printed.
Oh yeah,
I know that. I saw something recently about that guy. I don't even know if I want to talk about it actually.
Oh,
he got arrested, and charged. He's now an RSO.
Oh,
and not a range safety officer.
Not the range safety kind. I see.
No.
Oh,
yeah, he got arrested for that.
That'll happen, I guess.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Very, yeah. Huh. Well, anyways,
that's just an interesting fact about the 3D printed Liberator.
Yeah. We'll call that a World War II gun. We'll sort that in there. Anyways, let me see. So yeah, let's talk about some gun laws then. Let's move to some of the heavier stuff. So I guess we'll focus more internal to the U.S. here.
What other gun laws are gonna look at?
Well, I guess
we are banned here.
We are all banned here. Yeah. So I mean the three main offenders: California, New York, Massachusetts, as we all know and love.
Love's a strong word.
Yeah. Anyways, so all right, I'll start with my biggest problem with pretty much every gun law involving those three states. The AR and the AK bans. Fucking stupid. Just stupid.
Really stupid.
I don't get it. Like, I understand, but I don't get it. You can tell the people making these laws have never shot or looked at a gun in their lives.
Yeah, they don't know what a gun is.
They don't, yeah.
They see a big metal gun, and they're like, holy shit, I saw a terrorist on CNN hold that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's a soldier on TV? Oh, my God.
Oh,
he has that gun. We gotta get rid of it.
That's a military weapon right there. That's a weapon of mass destruction.
They see these weapons, these ARs, you know, which they're these people who talk about them. They're like, oh, the assault rifle 15, the assault rifle this, it's an assault rifle.
Yeah.
When in every definition of an assault rifle, it just plain isn't. It's just not. There's no such thing as an assault rifle.
Yeah. And
if the ATF classifies something as an assault rifle, it usually comes after the words fully automatic.
Yeah.
Which
is still illegal and has been since 1973 or whenever it was.
The early 80s, 90s, 70s. It's been banned for like a long time, like 50, 60 years. It's been gone.
Oh yeah.
Right, and they're still talking about it because people, it's just misinformation. They just don't know the difference between semi-automatic, fully automatic, and semi-automatic auto-loading.
Yeah. Well, that's the part that I understand is like, you see a gun in a school shooting, you see it in a mass shooting, whatever. People aren't going to like the gun. That makes sense. Same thing with in France with box trucks. You see a box truck coming towards you at, 80 miles an hour. You're going to think about it.
You're going to get a little, it's a thing that people, it gets ingrained in your head. Like, they say someone shot up a place and they show you
the weapon they used. Yeah.
Or a weapon like an AR-15, like if that's what they used.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see it again and you see it a couple of times, you're going to get this impression, like a bad reputation, almost a stereotype, if you'd like to call it that. That weapon must be the only purpose is to kill people.
Yeah, especially when you have video games and everything now that aren't realistic, that are showing off things that these rifles can do. and it's
showing them off as like M4s, like the gun we have on screen, or at least on my screen, right? Yeah. That is an AR-15 on a table.
Yeah, right? I got the same one. Yeah.
And some people would see that and think, wow, that looks like an M4 or like a fully automatic machine gun.
That's a military weapon.
And I understand if you're not a person who's into guns, that it may seem like this is a machine gun, but in reality, this is a semi-automatic, meaning it's not fully automatic. Fully automatic is the concept that when you pull the trigger back, the firearm continuously fires until you are either out of ammo or you let go.
Multiple rounds. Yep.
Semi-automatic means that it's semi-automatic. It's kind of self-explanatory. You have to pull it back. It shoots one round. Let go. Pull it back. Shoots one round. It's semi. So it's kind of manual. You have to go and keep pulling and keep pulling and keep going. That's the idea.
Yeah, that's the
acid chicken in chat. It's been a while.
Acid chicken in chat. Oh shit! From the Ukraine versus Russia podcast.
Returning viewer and epic
back?
Acid chicken.
Oh fuck!
I'm glad he's back. But yeah.
Anyways, continuing.
People see these firearms. They see it as if it's a machine gun. It's an M4. It's what the U.S. Army has. It looks like that gun in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very easily misconstrued that way. Because it's a firearm that just looks scary.
Yeah.
To be frank, it looks like a military firearm.
Yeah.
To the, I don't want to say uncultured, but someone who doesn't follow.
I wanted to say uneducated, but that kind of has a ring to it nowadays.
Yeah, well, they're uneducated
non-woke
firearms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. Like, they could be a smart person. We're not saying educated in the sense that they're stupid. I'm saying in the sense that they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They look at this and they see that's a machine gun. They use that in the military. The U.S. Army carries that. The French soldiers carry that. Pretty much every army that's under NATO at least has a variant of it or something like it.
Or something built off of the platform. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just not the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the the one thing with ARs. AR-15s were never a military weapon.
No.
But the AR-15 platform is. Having, the upper and lower receiver, hammer fire, semi-automatic / automatic. Yeah.
Well, the AR-15, wasn't it the AR-10 was the original?
Yeah. The Stoner OG was the AR-10, and it was, I don't remember what round it was at first. But I know that the government didn't like it, and the whole point of Stoner making the AR was, acid chicken. What are we talking about? We're talking about guns today. Right now we're on the topic of gun laws. Anyways, the Stoner made the AR-10.
Mm-hmm.
It was great, and then it was marketed and sold as the AR-10 because it was like a future rifle, because plastic.
Plastic's the future.
Oh yeah. And, magazines were big. And, so, anyways, that was, like, the main upgrade. And the military liked it. But then we start talking about caliber with 5.56 and built to maim, not to kill, all that shit. And then the AR-15 was born, and that was sold. And then the military said, we like it. And then the M4 the M16 platform, then the M4 platform.
Yeah, well, the AR-15 platform was specifically made for, bloody hell, fella, we gotta read chat. You guys want to debate gun laws with a European? Not particularly?
Not in particular. We got a list to follow here. Hold on.
I don't think they'd really understand, to be honest, if they don't live in an American lifestyle or even around guns.
Well, right now we're focusing on U.S. gun laws, but...
we're currently talking about statewide, state-specific gun laws.
Yeah.
Regarding currently the AR-15.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the AR-15, they made the AR-15 specifically for civilian use. It was not. They didn't take an M16, rip out it, and be like, oh, look at this, guys. It's citizen legal. They just made their own version that was for civilian life.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was. And, well, back then they didn't have the same laws about fully automatics, but Even back then, they weren't popular. People didn't buy fully automatics.
No,
back then you bought a gun for self-protection rarely, especially compared to today, or mainly hunting. So it was a lot of hunting, wooden bolt action,
wood stock bolt action. I don't even think many people own a semi-auto, maybe handguns. I'm sure. Especially
like 1911s. You'd buy a can of those fuckers for $100, and and even like captured German guns were big. You'd buy a fucking Gewehr or a Kar 98 for like $40.
Yeah, like they were not common firearms as they are now today.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's a lot of confusion. I'm glad we're clearing there because there is a lot of confusion about a military rifle and the AR-15.
And
they see them as one and the same.
Oh yeah.
There's no, they can't distinguish with their untrained eye.
Oh yeah.
What is the difference? They can't even. You hand them an AR-15, you hand them an M4. It's the same gun to them. Oh, this is what the army uses. They don't see it in the sense that it's like, oh, I can see the difference in this or not.
Yeah. And like the main reason for that is visually they're identical. The only real difference is you have a third option on your selector. Did his cameras just go? All right, anyways.
I'm back.
Bet. Yeah. What was I saying? I forget. Well, let me address chat. We will be opening to chat here in a second, but we're finishing up this topic before we get to that. And yeah. Anyways. What were we talking? Yeah, laws. So, yeah, visually, same fucking thing. I get it. And, the term fully semi-automatic, that bothers the fuck out of me. That is a whole...
A lot of...
journalists and...
governors and
people that make
senators.
The laws on shit. Yeah.
They're just like, well, this gun's fully semi-automatic. It's got a 30-round magazine clip, and like they have no clue what they're talking about. I don't think they've ever seen a gun in their life, let alone should be making laws about them at all.
Yeah.
They have...
Well, there was the one interview, I believe it was CNN, where they had a U.S. Army officer, I think it was Army, it might have been Marines, but a general or an officer, someone, and he was like, yeah, I had 2 tours, and I was with this rifle the whole time, like, I know it very well. And he's like, this is the identical one we use in the military. And then he's like, if I were to switch this to fully semi-automatic, and like, this man was deployed with these twice.
When he started shooting, he like grips it, and he's like,
and he's like leaning all the way back, and
this
like,
guy
dude,
must have been a clerk or something. This man's never touched a gun in his fucking life.
That's how officers work, I guess. Yeah.
His closest day to combat, right, was when 2 guys in the mess hall fought over an MRE with a fucking spoon.
His closest thing to combat was when they ran out of TP in the outhouse after having the chicken burrito menu 16 on the MREs.
Yeah, that's the closest thing he's had to combat. He was combating his fucking insides from imploding. After
he had to hold on for fucking leverage.
He grabbed the fucking handlebars, dude.
He was holding the handle shut.
I've watched probably like 10 people react to that video because it just always comes up. People in the future watch it, like, when it came out, people were watching it. And every person just dogs on that guy as he is. I've watched army, like generals, army like high ups in the army. I don't know their fucking rank. People have been in the army
angry
20
cops
fucking years.
And,
angry cops especially.
Angry cops,
like, was he drill sergeant or like a high up sergeant?
I think he's a DS, I think.
Yeah. And that dude was just like hysterically laughing at this guy. He just has no fucking clue what they're talking about.
And I get it. But yeah, those are the people that have the voice when it comes to the laws about guns. And that's what I think the main problem is. There's so much misunderstanding in it. And that's why you can't come to agreement with the Pro-2A guys, really, ever. Like, there's a big Obama quote. I'll transition to you in one sec. There's a big Obama quote where he was saying, like, we want to push these great gun laws. And he gave a list of, like, these are what we want to do. But, like, you can't get anything done with guns in this country because everyone thinks we're trying to take them. But the reasons he just listed, we're trying to take them.
It was like everyone's just scared of us taking them. So the first thing we're going to do, take your guns.
Buyback program, mandatory.
We're going to take your guns. You're going to have to give them back for money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that, like, that's, when the laws are written by people that don't understand what they're writing the laws about, and that's not even just guns, that's fucking everywhere, even cars now. Like, people are like, yeah, we're gonna get rid of internal combustion engines by 2030. They're banned after 2030 for production. And like, sure, but you don't understand how the fossil fuel or the electric car market is running right now. Like, the big three, the US big three, like GM, Ford, and Chrysler, they can't handle that. Like, holy fuck, they're getting there. They have another 10 years. I'm sure they'll be a lot closer, but they already complain about having to buy them out all the time because they can't afford to do business. And yeah, sorry, I'll transition to you.
That's the big thing with gun laws, even in all laws in general.
Yeah.
Back when America was founded, it was really easy voting people into office because your average guy could figure it all out.
Oh yeah.
You're not dealing with fucking anything. You're not dealing with cars, anything. You're dealing with horses and people. And that's about it. You got to make sure people aren't killing each other and that the laws are justified. That's about it. That's super easy. Nowadays, it's like you're making laws about things people go to fucking college for 8 years just to understand, and you're just some senator asshole who got voted in.
Oh yeah, because you look good on camera.
Yeah, like I don't expect fucking Senator Blumenthal or whoever to know everything about oil and cars and the economy and gun laws and criminal laws and the justice system. But like, that's the issue, is that there's so many people now that just don't exactly know what they're talking about when they're making laws. They make laws that make no sense. Yeah. Well, I just saw the other day, or no, that was today. That was like 2-3 hours ago. Browsing YouTube, saw a video, this woman, and it was 2017, I think? Yeah, it was right after the Parkland shooting. And this woman, she's on camera it's a Facebook video, and she's like, couple years ago, my husband went out and bought this AR-15 rifle, and I didn't want it in the house back then, but after seeing what just happened, we both agreed that we don't want it in our house anymore, either of us. But not only that, but like, we don't want it in anybody's house. So we're going to destroy this rifle. And she takes an angle grinder and cuts the barrel. And firstly, cutting the barrel off of an AR-15, like, you still have 6 inches of barrel. Firstly, it's going to run. Still fire.
Secondly, now you have a short-barreled rifle. That's illegal. And then immediately after that,
a felony.
Immediately after that, she's like, and this is why when I'm running for Congress, like, vote for me, she says her name, because I'm going to have common sense gun reform and laws that make sense for guns. And it's like, this woman literally just committed a felony and doesn't know how the gun works because she cut the barrel in half.
She fucking
it's gonna run.
Takes the barrel, just made a sawed-off fucking AR.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like, oh my god. It's just, like... And those are the people that are saying they're going to push for gun control. Like, they don't understand how it works.
She just committed a fucking felony on TV, and then it's like, vote for me. Like,
and if they think that that's, like, all it takes to, you know, be a congressperson, like, only knowing what the news told you about the Parkland shooting, then you're not going to know anything else about how the gun world works with gun crimes and things like that.
They don't talk about real gun crime. They talk about one scenario.
One every 5 years.
Yeah, every couple years.
Yeah, not even 5 years. I guess, what, like, 99 was Columbine, and the next big one after that was 2013.
Sandy Hook.
And then 2017 Parkland.
Yeah, and obviously there were smaller ones in between.
Yeah, like there was the one college, I guess.
There's always going to be fucking small shootings or small crimes or crime sprees or some horrible accident that happens in every country.
It always happens. Oh yeah.
But they'll focus on it for fucking years.
Forever.
They'll they're still talking about, in a lot of the time they refer to Sandy Hook. They're like, we need to ban guns because of Sandy Hook. Oh, we need to ban. You ever happened in Columbine? And it's like, that was 22 years ago.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, you remember the New Zealand thing that happened? The guy went into, was it a mosque, I think?
He went into a mosque, shot like 50 people, and then drove down the street shooting people.
Yeah. That's what pushed the state of Massachusetts to ban ARs and AKs. A problem that happened in a different country.
Fucking New Zealand!
In New Zealand, where, firstly, they had a mandatory buyback. you are not allowed to own ARs and AKs. And Massachusetts decides the way that we're not going to have that happen is to do exactly the same thing that New Zealand did before the problem happened, which they just watched failed. It's not about enforcement. It's about jailing.
It's the stupidest shit.
Yeah, I'm drinking milk out of a jar? Are you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
I got a fucking glass
a mason jar of milk.
I had to take my pill.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Papa Zanny.
Popping Zannies out here, baby.
But yeah, like, they're like, oh, so the way we're going to ban this and fix this problem is do what New Zealand did. When it happened in New Zealand after they did it.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about Australia, it's the same concept. They had a mandatory buyback. They bought back all the guns. There's still office shootings. People still shoot places up. And they've had guns banned for years. Like, I think there's hunting, but it's very limited. It's like break action double barrels and single, like, 1 round fucking bolt actions and shit.
Oh, yeah. And
stop. You have violated the law.
Schmeat.
Oh, that faceless Schmeat.
Oh, fuck.
#1 sub and VIP of
the Devizilla Twitch.
That's crazy.
I think this would be a perfect segue into our CDC here. Our CDC Facts. You want to transition to that, or do you want to...
Let's just reply to the comments.
Let's get in there.
Someone posted an asterisk. I mean, in general, we would be better not having guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, better off not having guns. Well, okay. Acid Chicken, are you in chat? And can you elaborate more on what you mean there?
Who is we? Are you talking the human population, the planet? Are you talking about a European country? What is...
Yeah.
Who is we?
Who we chatting about?
who is the people we're talking? That's what I'm wondering. Like, Kyle's kind of
quiet.
I'll just boost that shit
Boost
up.
me, bro. Do it. You won't.
Boom, you've been boosted. Easy.
Better?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give Acid here a minute or two to respond. Yeah, anyways, what else do we got? Come play Valorant, quit the podcast. Bruh. No.
Yeah, I'll quit right now, don't worry.
Close the stream.
This is my manager here. He's telling me I gotta quit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just ate an Oreo.
Ooh. Regular, or are we talking double stuff? What do we got?
These are thins.
Thins? Okay.
So my...
Oh, yeah, your mic's a little scuffed.
It cuts off. I was making sure it fixed on stream, pretty much.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm eating Oreo thins.
Nice. Thins are kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I wish there was a little bit more of, like, the black cookie.
You can only see it as the white part where you can fucking see it.
Yeah, wait, Zafira, how did you know that he... Oh, I guess she didn't specify
like...
Oreo.
No, here's her cookie. I mean, I have milk. It's kind of...
It's customary.
Well, I don't think Acid Chicken's in chat anymore.
Yeah, I think Acid Chicken dipped, so I guess... CDC?
We'll hold off.
All right.
We'll hold off on that. We'll just talk about general stuff.
We'll move down the list. All right, well then, do you want to talk about the ATF?
Sure. I love the ATF so much.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they made it a government organization. That just sounds like a good Friday night. But we can 4-stack with Kyle. You really want us to play Val, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll start with bump stocks. So the ATF banned bump stocks. Let me pull up the full wording. Let me see. Yeah, so the way that they worded it. So, okay, well, let's start with what a bump stock is. I'm sure most people here know what it is, but I'll say it anyways. Mm-hmm. So, a bump fire stock, so there's something called bump firing, a semi-automatic, where basically you put your finger through the trigger guard, trigger hole, whatever you want to call it, and pull the rifle forward rather than your finger back. and then you just get a good amount of pressure, and the recoil of the gun will send it backwards to bounce off of your finger again, and that's called bump firing. You can shoot pretty quick like that. It's really inaccurate. It's hard to do. You gotta have a lot of practice with whatever gun you're shooting. But a bump fire stock it's really like a slip-on for the stock of your gun that wraps over your pistol grip as well. So you just hold on a little piece of plastic behind the trigger, pull the gun forward, and it makes it a little bit easier. It's kind of like training wheels on bump firing a gun. Yeah. And so after there was the Las Vegas massacre, where the guy was in a hotel room and had an AR with a bump fire stock and was bump firing at a crowd. And there were reports that he didn't hit anybody with that caliber that he had in the bump fire stock. Oh, fucking ad. Anyways. Because they're so inaccurate. Anyways, so bump fire stocks were then banned. So bump fire stocks were added to the definition of machine gun by the ATF. And the NFA, the National Firearms Act. And so their wording is devices that allow a semi-automatic firearm to shoot more than one shot with a single trigger pull, or single pull of the trigger, by harnessing the recoil energy of the semi-automatic firearm to which it is affixed, so that the trigger resets and continues firing without additional physical manipulation of the trigger by the shooter. So it's basically saying any device that can turn a semi-automatic into a fully automatic by using the recoil energy, forcing you to not have to pull the trigger again. And the way that a bump fire stock works is that you're pulling the trigger again and again and again and again, just quickly. So it's just showing they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They couldn't find a way to word it that would ban them, because they know that they're wrong by banning them, because it's training wheels, basically. There's nothing... It's stupid.
Yeah, you want to get grab the front of your rifle, pull it into your shoulder, and just flick the shit out of your hand. It pretty much has the same idea.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna play a video on my stream really quick. Feel free to pull up my stream. It's a quick one though. All right, this is what we got.
So this gun has a lot of wood on it, no foregrips or extendable stocks or scopes or anything. It's obviously harmless. It's, basically a hunting rifle. So it's a good thing we got rid of all those bump stocks and assault weapons.
So yeah, that's what bump firing a gun looks like. You could do it without a stock. He used his belt loop. No, he didn't even use his belt loop. He just held it. Because he's built different.
He just takes the gun and slams his finger as fast as he can.
Oh, yeah.
And shoots as fast as a bump stock.
Oh, yeah. Or faster, even. Because bump stocks are hard to fucking use if you haven't used a bump stock before and are used to bump firing. But anyways, that's the first thing with the ATF. We'll move on to binary triggers. So their ruling of what a machine gun is anything that can, any modification that can turn a semi-automatic into a fully automatic would be a modification making it a machine gun, which is illegal. And their definition of a machine gun is more than one bullet is fired per trigger pull. And so a binary trigger it looks like a regular trigger, it functions like a regular trigger, except you pull the trigger once, it fires, you let go, it fires again. So then you can just spam that trigger real quick and you're sending rounds downrange, and it's fun. They're a little bit easier to use than a bump fire stock because you're just pulling the trigger. It's unsafe, I'll admit that. I'm not a big fan of binary triggers. It's hard to get used to when you let go and it shoots again, and that could lead to some bad situations. But yeah.
But if you know that it's a binary trigger, you're going to expect that.
Exactly, yeah. And it's, as far as they go, I feel like there's no use for it other than have fun at the range. shoot quick.
Yeah, like,
and most ranges don't even allow you to shoot that fast, but you know, sometimes you'll get lucky and you're the only guy there.
Well, I guess the thing you could do is like when you're shooting, just wait a second and then let go, and then you're. So you could do that. Like, the only thing I see being a problem is like, I don't think there's any way to cancel the second shot. That's like the big problem. It's like, if you need to not shoot, like, you have to stop. It's a ceasefire just got called.
Yeah.
What do? You have to let go.
You let go of the trigger. Yeah.
And it's gonna fire. So now you just have to choose the direction you want to let this round go off, and you let go, and it's gonna fire, and it's kind of. It's interesting.
Oh yeah. And. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of binary triggers. I would have never bought one, but they were banned because by definition, you're only pulling the trigger once, and you let go and it shoots twice. That's 2 bullets per 1 trigger pull. That's, on technicality, a machine gun now. So, yeah. And by the way, you could still buy all these things that the ATF bans. Virtually everything that the ATF bans, you can purchase with the right licensing. So technically, that's kind of how they get around of, you know, shall not be infringed in the Second Amendment of, you can get this if your, you know, net worth is more than $1 or $2 million and you've spent 20 years working in a gun shop.
But every license known to man in an infinite amount of time to deal with getting it.
Oh yeah. And so then our third wacky thing that hasn't been banned yet, at least. They did just come out of court. But it's called a forced reset trigger, where you pull the trigger and the reset of the trigger, where normally you let go of the trigger and it clicks when it gets back to place, the trigger will force your finger forward. So you can just hold the trigger back with a little bit more force than usual, and the trigger will keep resetting and just click, 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 and you're just firing rounds like a motherfucker. And those are fun. That I would have a good time with. But, yeah, they brought them to court because if you've seen a video of a forced reset trigger, I'm not going to pull one up because it's a lot of work. But anyways, they are a good time. I'll leave it at that. They are...
Yeah, some good classic American fun.
Oh, definitely. And so anyways, the ATF brought them to court, and they were going to ban their whole situation. But the company that makes them, I forget what the company's called now. I could look it up. Rare Breed Triggers. Yeah, Rare Breed Triggers went to court, and they basically said, hey, we can prove to you that this is not, by any current ATF definition, is a modification that will turn a semi-automatic into a fully automatic firearm. And they were right, because every time you pull the trigger, it forces your finger back off, and you have to pull the trigger again to get another round off. So per, you know, trigger pull, that's 1 bullet fired. You just do it real quick, which is very close to the way that a bump fire stock is, but the bump fire stock ban was specific to all bump fire stocks. There wasn't any other thing that got, like, incorporated in.
That's what is so weird about bump fire. It's like, it's not something you can really ban because it's just something you do. It's something like, grab your band belt loops on jeans. I can just hold that on and just jerk my firearm pretty much and just let it fire as much as I fucking want.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a foregrip and get that perfect grip onto your shoulder and just fucking
just let it go.
Trigger and it'll go the same way. Like,
it's like the same thing of sorry, it's the same thing of, like, you know, you could cook bacon on a pan or you can cook bacon in the oven.
Yeah.
The only way they could really get rid of it is if they ban bacon. And they can't just ban bacon because people fucking love bacon.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Or they'll, like, buy a pig and slice up the pig and make bacon.
Oh, yeah. And the other way around it is ban stoves or ban ovens. And then, you know, there's only one way you can make bacon now, which is, in this case, would be ban semi-automatics, where you have to have either a bolt or even like a lever action, whatever you got, pump action, something fucking stupid. And they can't do that because we have people that love to cook on the stove or love to cook in the oven. So, yeah,
and it's also our right to cook on the stove or the oven.
The government has no business fucking with my stove.
Fucking with my fucking way of cooking bacon.
Exactly. So that's really it for ATF. There's so many situations of the ATF being fucking stupid. You could Google up ATF equals dumbass, and you will find so many things.
Thousands of
so
results.
many things.
My thing is like you look up ATF anything, and all you're gonna see is posts about how stupid the laws are, flow charts about their confusing, convoluted laws, or them killing your dog.
Yeah.
Them killing a dog, a meme about them killing dogs, them killing somebody that someone loves.
Well, the whole ATF and really gun laws in the U.S. in general reminds me of the war on drugs. Firstly, we're coming out of the war on drugs. Everything's becoming legal. They started experimenting now, I heard, from my sister, who's almost a mental health professional at this point. They're doing research on ketamine and psychedelic mushrooms for like mental health issues, which is not something that you could do 10 years ago because of the war on drugs. And apparently
fucking do some ket, bro.
Oh, fucking right.
That's a problem. Fucking inject some horse.
Oh yeah. Well, like I guess one of her professors in school is on the ketamine project now, where it's beneficial because you take ketamine once every 3 months, and your mental health issues, it's almost the same as taking Prozac twice a day, every day. And you only have to go once every 3 months, take 1 day off of work, and you're chilling.
Dude, that shows how crazy ketamine is. If it lasts for like months.
Oh yeah. Well, like you're not high the whole time. It just like subsides your brain from putting out bad chemicals and shit.
Yeah, I've never thought like you would take. I mean, I don't know. I don't think about people taking ket.
Me neither.
He says Kaz. Is this the guy you're chatting?
Kazi? Yeah. He was in here a second ago. Caxi, the fake taxi.
Caxips. I don't know. Here. I don't know how to say your name, buddy.
Caxips. Kazips, maybe? 06? I don't know.
I don't know.
How you doing, brother? You chilling out here?
Caxips. We're doing good. How about you?
We're big chilling.
I'm glad he somehow found his way over here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know. How'd you find it? He's in a whole different subject.
He's having a different category.
But hey, he's back. We love returning viewers.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, ketamine, that's insane that you take it
pretty wild.
And you get a positive effect.
Oh, yeah. That lasts
3 months.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that's a lot better than having to take a drug twice a day every day.
Yeah, but that's kind of fucking horrifying, dude. Holy shit, that's like, hey, by the way, because it's like
you're gonna be tripping for the next fucking you're gonna be tripping for the next 12 hours and then feel different for the next 3 months.
You want to feel better? We're gonna experiment on you, but here's the thing: this lasts for a quarter of a year. Have fun. Like, holy shit, I feel like
that'd be so easy to find subjects for. Mm-hmm. Just walk down the street and be like, hey, who wants free ket on me?
Who wants to take some fucking ketamine?
Who wants to take free ket in a supervised environment?
Government regulated ketamine. And they're like, it's free?
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking pumping you with ket.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane, dude.
But yeah, it reminds me of the war on drugs because, well, the beginning of the war on drugs, the way that they let people pass it, because everyone took coke back in the 30s and 40s and 50s. It was like low dosage. It wasn't like party coke like you have now, but you know, like like housewives, there's the joke now of like, how did those housewives do it back in the 50s? They were strung up on coke all day long because they would drink Coca-Cola or they would take codeine cough syrup because they have a headache. And
strung up on crack. They gotta make do housely duties. They gotta clean the floors and shit. And they're just like, 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby! Let's go!
Oh, yeah.
Fucking cleaning them shits.
But yeah, the way that they
were on cocaine, man. I'm just saying.
They were. The 50s were a great time. That's all I can say. Apart from like the racism, that's a different part. But
no,
anyways,
that's the bad part.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, the way that they got people to be okay with banning things that they took normally every day almost, was they made them scared of it. They were like, hey, this is what happens to people that take coke. This is what happens to people who take these drugs or like take lithium, which was pretty much like the main prescription drug back then for any mental health problem. It was just, take lithium right now. And yeah, they scared people. They used advertising and news and all that, and they were like, "This is
there's people
what
still
will happen to your kids
today."
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like very low dosage.
Yeah. Well, I know it's like it's such low dose that, like, because I have a family friend that has bipolar that's on lithium. It's my dad's girlfriend's friend's younger sister. I don't even know.
Oh my God, that's a fucking long chain.
It is, yeah. But she has to go 3 times a week to get her lithium because they can't give high doses anymore because there's some bad health problems. But it works fucking well. Well, lithium's great for that, but unhealthy. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, but they scared people and, you know, got the general consensus to want to ban it. And people that were against it at first realized, you know what? If it's better for everybody, we'll do it. And that's what they're doing with guns right now. They're like, oh my God, ARs? That's fucking scary.
We gotta ban them. We gotta get rid of them.
Gotta get rid of them. Look at what it does to these kids out in Connecticut. And like, they show pictures on the news. And then next thing you know, in like, what, 4 states? 5 states now? I think 5 states, ARs are banned.
Sandy Hook shit. I really do. Yeah, like, I hate how, like, it's just become a political weapon. Like, it's not even like a moral,
they're using the death of how many kids died? Like
25 kids and 1 teacher.
Yeah, the death of 25 kids to push political agenda.
Yeah, I remember being in school and that shit happening and like leaving school very panicked. Yeah. Like, not good, right?
Not knowing what's happening. I remember
going to school with state troopers armed at the doors for like a couple weeks after that. And like, that was super serious in Connecticut. Oh, yeah. And then people just think, they're like, oh, look what happened at Sandy Hook. Like, look at this. And it's like, they use it as this political message to get whatever
to get
they
people
want,
to
re-election,
to push whatever. Yeah. Oh,
it's
there's
like,
been so many people in Connecticut that have gotten elected because of using that in their advertisements. Like, oh, you don't want this to happen again? Vote for me. I'll make sure it doesn't happen.
I'm gonna avenge. A lot of them say things like, "We need to do. The kids of Sandy Hook deserved more."
Yeah,
like, they always use that. And it's like 13 or however many years of gun control and restrictions and overstepping by the government into your constitutional rights isn't enough. What is enough?
Like, how come I can't go to the range anymore without filling out an hour of fucking paperwork?
Yeah, like, where is it? Like, where's the...
Well, they're never going to draw a line. That's the thing. Like, it's controversial, but I'd say they've gotten better, the kids at Sandy Hook. So many things have gotten banned. What else do you want?
Yeah. There hasn't been a mass shooting in Connecticut since.
Exactly, yeah. I'd say that's a success.
I don't even think there's been, like, many, like mass shootings in America defined as, like, 3 or more. And I don't even know, I don't think there's been many of those at all. I think there's been, like, maybe 3 or something of, like, gang-related bullshit. Has nothing to do with
that's the
mass
thing
shooters.
With the way that the CDC does it, and the CDC is in charge of most death-related statistics in the U.S. I believe it's 6 or more, but CNN made their own sources whenever they report anything gun-related, and their limit for a mass shooting is 3 or more, I think. 3 or more.
Which is like a gang.
And that is, like, not even that many. Like,
that's not a mass of people.
That could be a self-defense shooting easily. Yeah, you have 4 guys trying to take your car. Oh yeah.
You get robbed you get carjacked in Philly. That's like that many people.
Oh, easily. Or more.
8 people. Right? That's a mass shooting here.
And now it's a mass shooting. And like, that was the thing with you remember the Pulse nightclub in Orlando? Like a week after that, there was another shooting that happened, and it was like 4 people, and the CDC never said anything about it because it's not a mass shooting. It's still a gun death, but like not a mass shooting. But CNN is like, oh my God, mass shooting again in Orlando. That's 2 in the same month. Like, we need to get this under wraps. Like, no, that was gang-related violence. They pulled up on this guy trying to buy coke or something. And now
everyone talks about gun violence as if it's with legal firearms that are purchased privately. When in reality, it's purchased illegally because they are stolen firearms or imported or whatever.
Well, that's something I learned about California a couple of years back, I guess like 2018. The number of recovered firearms that were actually traceable back to an owner, because California has some really bad laws in terms of registering firearms. 90% of them that were used for any type of murder were untraceable because they weren't bought legally.
Because they were
imported,
a legal gun,
or scraped.
They're like a stolen gun with the serial, number
and that's
scratched
best
off
case
of
if it got stolen. Most of them are imported, usually from China. They don't talk about that. Norinco?
No, I don't.
So it is a Chinese knockoff company that makes identical copies of U.S. firearms. And they got banned in the U.S. Because they went to gangs in L.A. They went to the Crips and the Bloods directly and said, hey, do you guys want to buy RPGs from us? We will help you. Meanwhile, Colt is out here. You can't even buy a Colt anymore, or a Colt AR, because they're law enforcement only. But you can go to Norinco and buy an RPG. It's not legal, but
it's kind of like Toyota, how they sell fucking their trucks to
Toyota
all of ISIS
when conflicts are rising in the Middle East.
I don't think they literally go in contact. I don't want to get sued for that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
they don't.
They have a unprecedented amount of Toyota trucks in the Middle East.
They do.
Used for terrorist activities, and I don't understand how or why. Who the fuck is getting the call at Toyota and they're like, "Hi, can I order 3,000 pickup trucks to Syria?" Like, who the fuck's like, "Oh yeah,
who's doing that?
Go. Yeah, you need that? Okay, sounds good." Like, who the fuck's buying all these Toyota trucks for them to modify into
and use
vehicles
in war?
of war?
Yeah,
what the fuck
it is
happened?
ridiculous.
How?
I don't even know how they get those things. It's wild. Well, this is unrelated, but Toyota has been the best-selling car in Australia for a long time, and the more notable car is the Land Cruiser. Toyota Land Cruisers are fucking nice, and we only get the shitty luxury ones in the States. But anyways, there's an Indian company called Mahindra that makes tractors that started making knockoff Land Cruisers that they don't look like them or anything, but it's the same concept of it's a diesel motor and a pickup truck that's very modifiable. Like, you could have it as an SUV, a pickup truck, a box truck.
Sorry, they look like some shit from Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Or is that a different? Fucking
the Mahindras or the Toyotas?
The fucking Jeeps they had in fucking.
Jurassic Park, they were Jeeps. They were.
They were Jeeps.
CJs.
Honestly, I looked at this one specifically.
Yeah.
This fucking one. This one looks exactly like I think the purposes, and I was like, wait, is this from fucking Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that actually kind of looks like it.
It looks exactly like the fucking.
That's fucking cool. I like that.
It looks like it's from the 80s. That's what I'm saying.
The fucking graphic on the side of it is fucking 80s. Oh my god.
The little graphic. That's what I was saying. I was like, dude,
that.
This is some Jurassic Park shit. Sorry, continue.
But anyways, the Indian company Mahindra is making trucks now and selling them in Australia, and they've outsold the Land Cruiser every year since.
Jeez.
And it's just I get it because they're so much cheaper. And the motors that they put in are reliable because they're tractor motors, but fucking war on Toyota.
Acid Chicken might have fell in it. He's in Chad. I don't know. He's just not here. I just checked up see if he's alive.
Yeah.
If he made it through. Besides that, if you see, just speaking on weird Chinese companies, have you seen the battery operated Chinese cars? I'm not talking Chinese trucks like real. I'm talking there's these cars. Okay, I saw. They cost like $6,000.
Yeah, they're really they're kind of like golf carts, but they're like a real car.
I think you might have even showed it to me, and I'm just dumb.
I saw a video of a dude unboxed it and stuff, and it's they're slow and stuff. It's like a golf cart, but. I would fucking buy one of them. They're a little pricey, but
if they weren't $6,000, I'd totally buy one. They look like so much fucking stupid fun.
They'd be if you got some property, that'd be great to just whip around.
Yeah, it's like a fucking golf cart, but it looks cooler than a golf cart.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of badass.
I heard it feels like shit though. I heard it's really not.
I believe it. It's probably better just to buy a golf cart. Well, yeah, you saw my newer golf cart, the lifted one.
Yeah.
That was like $2,000. So it did have a lot of problems to work on, but you gotta hydrate.
Oh, in chat? Is that a fucking whoa ooh woo? Is that what that is in chat?
Ooh,
I already hit him with that epic hydrate.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah,
I guess we should move on to our next topic. So,
like the firearms.
What?
Yeah, no, I was saying we should probably move back to the guns.
To the guns, yeah. So I guess what do we go to next here? We got ATF. Well, this is a really quick one. Open carry, it's fucking garbage. That's about it.
Yeah, I think open carry is applicable in like 2 places, and that's at the range.
And on your property.
On your property, at the range, or like hiking. I think hiking.
Yeah, hiking.
Or like camping.
Yeah.
Or hunting.
Yeah.
Because you have to open carry hunting, right?
Oh, yeah. But well, I think that's the thing. Open carry is more useful if it's a rifle than a pistol.
Oh, yeah. Because fucking trying to conceal carry your fucking AR-15.
Yeah.
Strap it under your jacket. Like fucking...
A collapsible stock that you're not allowed to buy in most states.
Like a fucking clown.
Oh, yeah.
1 second.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
But yeah, in short, open carry, if you're in a 7-Eleven being robbed, they're casing the place. They see you get a gun, you're dead before you can even get to your gun.
They're not good. They're gonna. It really does, I think, make you a target. Like
it does. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Unless you're in like, I don't even know where it'd be good. Like you need to be in a nice neighborhood to open carry.
You do.
If you're in the shit town, like you're in some sketch area, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're in a high crime rate area and in a place that's like just constant shootings and robberies, like like Detroit or something. You know that.
Chirac. Yeah.
You walk out the street with a gun. It's probably like threatened. Like they're gonna think you're a part of this shit now, and they're gonna fucking come.
Now you're gonna get involved by accident.
Yeah. The only place I think open carrying would work is fucking Europe, where everyone would be afraid. He's like, why the fuck does this guy have a gun? Like, that's about it.
Well, in my state, open carry is legal as long as you're 21. And the only legal reasoning I've been able to find, officially from the state of Pennsylvania, is going from hunting grounds to hunting grounds. Because normally there's a road in between, splitting it, or whatever. Or utilities where a private company owns a small strip of land. And that's just like, you don't want to have to walk all the way back, lock your gun up in your truck, drive around to the other hunting ground where you could have just walked through for 2 minutes. Yeah. That's the only legal reasoning I could find on it. But yeah, other than that, it's just not a good idea if concealed carry is an option.
Device wanted to yell at me.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, open carry, I think, really is for fun. Like, open carry is, like, a thing you do. Like, I'd open carry at the range of my friends, because that sounds fun. Like,
for sure.
It would be so cool. Like, that's why I love ranges with food places in them. Or,
like,
because, like, you sit there at a dining table, like a diner style place, or just a fucking place of food, and you feel cool. You feel good. You feel cool. You're like, got your fucking big ass gun here, like, you're ordering food and eating, and, like, it feels good.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of like it's like a dream. Like I would never do that shit in public. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
It would cause too many issues. People are gonna fucking come up to me and bring up, "Oh my god, you have a gun," and it's like it becomes a fucking
that's a problem. Yeah.
Right. Or it's like some fucking crazy person's gonna try to. I'm sure someone will try to grab it one day. Someone's gonna.
Someone's doing some shit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Someone who doesn't like guns is gonna try to take it from me. Someone who doesn't like guns is gonna make a scene. It just causes way more issues than it's worth.
It does, yeah.
It gets you to become a target of anyone, not even just like criminals, just people. People are gonna notice you. People are gonna call the police on you and be like, "Yo, that guy is there's a guy with a gun in CVS or in fucking licorice." I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
getting whatever the fuck.
And like I've watched these videos like people open carry like AR-15s. I kind of get the reason someone would panic, like, "Oh my god, I saw a gunman."
Yeah.
But so I watched a video like 5 guys open carrying on a beach. They're protesting. They're not shooting people. It's a protest. That's all it is, and everyone can see that. It's very obvious what they're doing. They have signs that say, "Open carry is legal, bitch," like that kind of shit, right?
Oh yeah.
Some girl calls in and they have the 911 call. They play it in the video. So we got called 911. I got 911 called on us, and it's like, "Oh my god, I just saw 6 guys standing on the beach, like whatever beach in Florida, with machine guns. There's 6 of them. There's 6 gunmen."
Yeah.
and they described it like a mass shooting was happening. Like, oh my god, everyone's so scared. They have guns. I'm scared they're gonna kill all of us. And it's like the cops show up, fucking SWAT. Everyone shows up, and it's like 6 guys
just
fucking
chilling,
having a smoke, talking.
Oh yeah,
they're fishing, by the way. They're not just
they're
fishing.
Literally chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, drinking beer and fishing with like an AR-15 strapped to them. It's like for me, it's like for argument's sake, open carry should be illegal. It's my right. Would I do it? No, not really.
Yeah, I do it.
I think it's ridiculous to like you should be able to open carry if you want to, because it's your right to do so.
Yeah.
But also, like, I just think it's not practical.
I think if you have the option to concealed carry, you should. 100% of the time.
Yeah. And like, if you are going to a place to open carry, like, I feel like if it's not a range or like outside with your friends or in your own property on your farm, on your farm, 100% at your job even, I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Right. Depending on what you work. Right.
Yeah.
You work in the woods and you're like a lumberjack. I totally see putting a big ole, like Magnum gun on you for a bear.
Yeah.
Conceal carry a sniper down the pants. That's a perfect.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
50 cal, right? It's bigger than me. Just fucking
right down the leg.
Bear comes down. You flick up your leg and pull the trigger through your pant. Like, you just put through the pants, fucking boom, and wipe out whatever's in your leg.
Fucker. Oh yeah.
You ever seen? I don't think I showed you. There's this soldier, army guy. I don't know what he is. He's in the army, military, or something. Fucking sitting there, and he has like this giant bulge in his pants, and he reaches down it, and I was like, oh god, no, and like I was watching, I was like, oh fuck, thinking he's about to like
whip something out. Yeah.
And he goes and I see like this, and it's just a fucking shotgun. He just yoinks out of his pants.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Like a very shorter bear. It was not like sawed off, but it was like short.
Yeah.
This giant shotgun out of his fucking pants.
That is funny.
But yeah, open carry, really, I think man versus wild, open carry. That's just cool.
Oh yeah.
You want to feel like a cowboy on your own property? You want to feel like a cowboy when you're riding a horse through the woods?
You want to be a cowboy, baby?
Because there's no point in concealing a gun when you're not expecting to see people. You're on a hiking trail.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah. Well, at that point, it's not for people. It's for wildlife or whatever.
Deer and whatever the shit tries to. Like, deer are fucking. They could stab the shit out of you. I've watched people. A lot of people die hunting from deer.
Yeah, they can.
And just like, I'm not even saying go shoot deer in the woods. I'm just saying
don't poach. But
don't poach it. I'm saying if it stabs you through the lungs and you're fucking dying, maybe you should do something about it.
If there's a bear chasing you through the woods, maybe do something about it.
Yeah, if a bear, like whatever other wildlife, maybe a snake even.
Oh,
I don't know, something that's a danger to
mountain
you.
lion, yeah.
Maybe, and even like guns have been used. I've watched videos where people are in Alaska, especially, like they'll get lost in the freezing winters, and they use it as a signaling thing. So like they'll be on the radio with them, they have walkies, and they're like, hey, can you fire one? And they're trying to like locate them, and it's and they just keep doing it until someone gets there.
So they can find them.
Maybe you get fucking, I don't know, you fall down a hill, your leg breaks, and you need to signal to someone, you just start pop, someone's gonna hear that shit at some point.
Or you could even, worst case, pull the bullet and use the primer to start a fire. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, just put the barrel into a shit ton of sticks and just hope that like
something does shit. Yeah.
Like it could be used for good. Right? Man versus wild, I think open carry all you want and feel cool in your own privacy. Wherever.
Definitely.
Right? Like, I want to feel like a cowboy, and I want to ride a fucking horse with a gun on my hip hanging down like a fucking
Red Dead
cowboy.
Shit.
Who doesn't want to do that? That's awesome. But like, if you're opening carrying at Walmart and it's not for protesting reasons, you're a dick. That's to be honest.
Pretty much.
You're kind of a dick.
You're just being fucking weird at that point, and
you're
it just doesn't. It's uncalled for.
Yeah, like if you're protesting, I kind of agree with it. I'm gonna, if you want to sit on a corner street with 8 other guys carrying AR-15s for the purpose of protesting, go ahead. That's fine. That's to make a statement, right? And not a deadly statement either, just a statement.
Just a statement, yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna walk to Walmart with your fucking AR-15, like, what do you expect to happen? Like, anything. You just carrying a shotgun, a bolt action, I think the same reaction. Like, yo, what the fuck is that guy doing?
Yeah,
like,
what is wrong with this guy?
If it's a handgun, I wouldn't care personally, but people would.
Oh yeah. Even if it's a rifle, I wouldn't be the type to be uncomfortable. If someone had an open carry,
I'd honestly talk to them. Like.
Oh yeah. Well, we see a lot of that up in the mountains here. I went to Taco Bell a couple years back. Biggest revolver I've seen in my fucking life. Like, things hanging halfway down to his knee from the holster. And he's just chilling, and, like, good for him, but, like, it's still a little overkill. That's not a gun that you can conceal, though, so...
Yeah, but, like, that's a nice conversation. Like, I get that. Like, you want to talk to some people. Like, and usually the people, like, honestly, that I see open carry are old. They're older.
Oh, yeah.
They're not... I don't see any 20-year-olds walking around with their fucking revolver on their hip. I see guys in their, like, 50s and up. Yeah. That have some big ass revolver, some bullshit, 1911 strapped to their hip, walking around.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, in my state's not a big gun state, but I've very little seen people carry, and like usually there's an imprint. It prints. Yeah. Like that's isn't that the term where it prints?
It prints.
Right.
Yeah.
It prints. Yeah. I've seen about one or two. I mean, at gun ranges, I've seen a fucking shit ton. But in public, I think the first time I was a very young John, I was probably like 8. Yeah. And I saw like the tip of a barrel, like a revolver, and a whole like thing. I remember he went to go get his wallet, and he like
pulled his shirt up a little bit,
to get his wallet. And I remember sitting there like, that's a cool gun.
Yeah.
And like, like I'm sure I could see some kids getting scared of that. Right?
Oh, definitely.
But fuck them kids. This is my right.
Exactly.
Be fucking scared.
Oh yeah, fuck that kid. Dirty-minded bitch. Anyways, let's move on here. What do we got? Want to go do concealed carry. That's an easy transition. All right, what would you carry? What's your go-to? If you had to pick one gun right now, price isn't an issue. Any gun, any caliber, price isn't even a thing here.
Fuck, you're putting me on the spot.
Oh,
Not really putting me on the spot, but like, I have a lot.
Gotta make decisions.
It's based on the future more.
Yeah.
Here's my base, like what I'd carry. I think, H&K, Smith & Wesson M&P.
Yeah. That's what I would go for too. Ooh, we got Capricious Bun and Chef.
What do you do? Hello, Capricious Bun, number one fan and moderator of Debbie's Listerine.
Nice.
And a lover of co-host of we're both co-hosts. Nice. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Question: what do you do when someone tries to steal your gun off your hip and is successful?
I got a pretty quick response to that.
So I have one too.
Well, who wants to go first?
You put your hands up. Okay, I'll go first because I don't know. You go first, right? Get on your knees.
Yeah. You
put your hands to the floor, and you pull out your boot holster second gun and cap that motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say it's easy as ankle gun. That's it. It's just
exactly.
Yeah. That's it. Grab your ankle gun.
No, I think people think that's a lot easier than it is.
Yeah, it's very hard to take someone else's gun.
I can't even. I was gonna say, actually, no. I can do it in a way that is Twitch friendly.
Yeah.
All right. This is a holster. Okay.
Yeah.
No fire. It is a holster. There's nothing wrong.
It's just
with
a holster.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just a holster. Twitch. It's a fucking piece of plastic. Okay. In here, there's a piece of plastic in the middle. Right. It's gonna be hard to see. You're not gonna be able to see it.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see it. There we go.
There's
a ridge in there. That plastic ridge. That's gonna go into the trigger guard and into the lock. So pretty much the only way they're gonna get this out, right, is if they either hit this button and they know what they're doing and pull it out, or if they just brute force the shit out of it and break it. And pulling your own gun out of your holster is hard enough because you have it's gonna wiggle on your hip up and down your pants as it's like moving. It's really hard to pull a gun out if you don't do it the proper way. But I guess, sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. You said and is successful. If someone pulls out my gun and is successful, they get it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends what they're gonna do. If they're coming to kill me, I'm gonna charge them full speed. Right?
Yeah.
See what happens. If they're taking it to rob me, they can have my shit. my shit's not more worth than my life. Fucking take it. I guess you got the better of me. Yeah. They leave. I go call I call the department, the state, right? I'll call the state and be like, hi, my gun was stolen. I'll call the police. Hi, I just got robbed and my gun was... I would make it fucking as documented as possible to every government official that my gun is not mine. I'm not killing people.
Yeah.
Or wherever it ends up. Right?
I think it depends mostly on context, though. Because it could just be, like, if it's just a kid in the supermarket that happens to see my gun is just like, oh, that looks fun, then it's just like, okay, give me my gun back. But if it's like, well, I guess what would it be? If it's still holstered, if it's a dude in, like, a 7-Eleven or even, like, a dark alley who's just like, ooh, I'm taking that, swipes it and holds it to my head, then at that point, you're pretty much just his bitch.
You kind of have to do what he wants. If he wants to rob you and he wants to murder you, you're probably going to know the difference.
Oh, yeah. If he's saying, hey, run your pockets, I'm running my pockets. If he says, hey, get in my trunk, then I'm going to try to fight him. For it. Oh, yeah. Then I pray.
I'm going to try some Detroit urban survival tactic bullshit and try to fucking pull the slide back or whatever.
Oh, do some shit. Yeah.
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to run at him full speed, whatever, grab the gun, get it between my arms. I'm going to do everything I can to get that out of his hands and back into mine. And pray to God that I know more than he does.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny. People do that, though. Like, I know people who have their, like, gun, then their ankle gun. There's some people who have, like, a gun, a coat gun, like a fucking pocket gun, like, waist, and a boot gun. Like, a lot of people are really into, like, have as many guns as you can fucking fit.
Oh, yeah. And most guys that carry a gun also carry a knife. So you still have a backup.
That's always my plan. If someone gets a gun on me, I'm just going to go for the knife to the wrist kind of thing, or to the throat. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, do whatever is possible at that point. Yeah.
Whatever's the best chance of living, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
If that's complying and even if they beat your shit up, they beat you up. They beat
I'll
you to the
take
ground.
an ass whooping over a bullet for sure, any day of the week.
Yeah, maybe I'm actually gonna mute it just for audio purposes. Oh, sorry, my Discord. Gotcha. I forgot to record this on Audacity too for the video.
Ah, fuck.
I'll do it next time.
It happens.
Yeah, but sorry, my brain just went fucking burr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really just let them do what they want. Your life is worth more than whatever they want, probably. Unless it's you.
Yeah. Unless it's you. Something. If they want you, that's where you gotta draw the line.
Then do everything you can to, like, and plus the best action in some cases might even just be immediately act. Like the second they've grabbed it and you feel just a fucking bold grasp to them and just go as fast
just
as
start going.
That might be because if you know what I mean, like if you give them time to get used to your gun, that's the problem. Like it's gonna take them at least 6 seconds to pick it up, and like they don't know if there's a bullet in it. If you carry one in the chamber, which you should,
you should,
unless it's a revolver. Don't do that.
Well,
it depends on
technically,
the revolver, I think.
You always have one in the chamber if you're carrying a revolver.
Yeah, but a lot
hammer back. Then it's a problem.
I'm saying if you have a hammer-fired revolver, I think you should cowboy carry.
Oh yeah.
Like the thing where it's like they drop and it fucking blows the one in the chamber, so they carry the one without it.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I haven't used revolvers enough to say that, but I've heard people at ranges tell me that. I like talking to people at the range a lot. I'll sit at like a place and talk to people for fucking hours, and that's what that's what most people tell me. Like, I cowboy carry, but also they carry like single action revolvers, and they're fucking like 80.
They're built different. What can I say?
It's if someone steals my gun, if you're saying steals my gun, like that's their purpose, fucking have it. I'll call call the police, say they stole my gun.
That should be registered.
I'll go home to my wife, or whatever. And be like, hey, hun, sorry. Guess what? I'm spending my paycheck on a gun. Mine got stolen today. I know you love how much I spend on guns, but I got to spend more, honey. I got to get a better gun. It's gone. That means I need a new holster too. This one isn't good enough, honey. I need a new ring.
It's not going to fit my new gun. I need a new holster.
They stole it. It must not have been good enough, right?
Which means I need new mags too.
That's a free gun purchase. That's an excuse right there.
Exactly.
yes, them stealing gun is probably the actual best possible
case.
scenario.
Oh yeah.
Because then it's like they robbed your gun and you. That's a little scary. They take you. That's the worst.
That's the yeah.
If it was a kid, honestly, can I say that?
Probably not. That's the rule on Twitch. Probably not. If you have to ask that question.
Fuck. Yeah. It's not even like I'm not saying I'm gonna kill the kid.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the kid needs to learn real quick not to grab a man's gun. That's super dangerous.
Oh yeah.
But either way, I guess the Twitch friendly version is I would scold them very loudly and be like, yo, don't touch that again. It depends the age too. If they're like 6, it's cool. They don't fuck it. They see a gun. They probably saw it in Call of Duty or Fortnite and they want to touch it.
Probably.
If it's like a 10-year-old, 14, I'm fucking yelling. I'm like,
oh yeah, fuck it.
I'm yelling at him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vocally. So anyways, to go back to the question, what gun would you carry?
Yeah, no, I was saying I'd probably carry, right now, I'd carry a M&P 2.0.
2.0, gotcha.
Or the M&P Easy 9mm version, because I like the
I don't like the 380 or 38. I don't remember if it was 380.
It's the 380.
380, yeah.
It's 380 ACP.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I don't like the fucking stupid ass grip safety thing on those.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they're pretty nice.
I'd love to get into 380 after this. Once we
that'll be after this.
Carry for handguns.
Well, so my gun would be the same thing, M&P 2.0, the 9mm. I wouldn't carry the bodyguard. But yeah, no, M&P. I like Glocks a lot, but I don't know. I just kind of like the M&Ps better.
Yeah, for me, it's a mix of I like the trigger a little more on the M&P.
Yeah.
And I like the feel in my hand with the stippled grips. I know you can get those for Glocks, but I don't want to edit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's the argument where it's Glocks are great and M&Ps are great, but how much do you have to change on the Glock for it to feel as good
as the M&P?
As the M&P.
Yeah.
How much do you spend into your Glock? How much do you change into your Glock isn't a Glock anymore, and it's your own custom gun?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that carry Glocks, most of the parts aren't Glock anymore.
Yeah. They change the triggers, they change the grips, they change the slides to ghost. Not ghost. What's the word? You know the word.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Where they cut the strips out of them.
The skeletonized.
Yeah. I always say ghostized. It's the same because they're. I think of just dead shit.
Yeah.
Skeletonized. I fucking love. I love the feeling of Glock. I really am a.
Bless you.
Fuck.
A fanboy.
I am a big Glock fanboy. I do enjoy them. I think they're visually appealing to me. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a fucking cube. I like them.
Yeah.
I think they're nice. They feel good. All that kind of stuff. It's just for me, it's I don't know. I'm definitely gonna own both. Yeah. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna own lots of fucking guns. But...
Yeah, but I'm saying just in carry, I'm probably gonna have 3 guns I carry. I don't think I'm just gonna have one.
Well, that's the one thing. Glocks, I would no problem carry a Glock, but I'd want it to be custom if I'm gonna carry it. The other thing, Glocks are okay, but custom Glocks are built different.
Custom Glocks are
nice. Insane. But then you get to the M&P 2.0. The stock M&Ps are great. They feel amazing. They're, everything I could ask for. But
I love the tan. Sorry, it's the tan handle.
The two-tone ones.
It's so it's a nice aesthetic. I really like it. Just as a side note.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the M&Ps, there's really no aftermarket yet for them. There's triggers, but that's really about it.
Yeah.
But once the aftermarket grows for the M&Ps, they're gonna be so much better than Glocks for sure, and cheaper. And I'd rather support an American company than an Austrian one.
Yeah, I would agree that I think the M&P, if it had the aftermarket support of Glock, would be the carry gun. And I mean, there's also SIG. SIG's, I think, the second biggest or third biggest. It's
the P320
definitely
is massive.
Smith & Wesson and SIG jump back and forth in the carry game.
Yeah.
Right? Between, Glock and
Glock's always been up there. Glock, I'd say, is still the king of concealed carry.
Oh, it's the king because it is the easiest fucking gun to use in your life.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy. Your grandma can carry one. Anyone can use them. They're dirt simple.
Yeah.
A child, they're the easiest, simplest gun to use. Anyone can carry them. There's aftermarket support. You want to learn about a Glock? There's millions of videos. You can go to any guy who's ever fucking shot a gun and talk to them about a Glock, and they probably know how to fix it. Your Glock breaks, they probably know the issue. Your Glock needs a cleaning, they probably have something to fix that.
Oh yeah. Well, that and like if you're like getting into guns, and you're like, hey, I want to get my first pistol, and like you're not knowledgeable, you don't do research, whatever. 9 out of 10 guys that you ask are gonna say Glock.
I think I honestly
even 100%. Yeah.
And I really believe that.
It's kind of like the jack of all trades. Like it's very good. Like Glock 19, I'll use that as the base.
The Glock 19
is built very well. Yeah, it's built very well to be a CCW gun. But that's the one thing, like jack of all trades, master of none. It's not a good gun. It's just an okay, or how do I word this? It's not amazing at anything. It's just good at everything.
Yeah, it's not specialized. It's just like it can do anything.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think where Glock thrives is how many Glocks there are. There's like, you want a Glock for competition, there's 10 fucking Glocks of long barrels. You want a full-size Glock, you have the 17. You want a mix of the 19 and 17, you got like the 19X.
4 or 5 different calibers now from the factory.
Yeah, there's 380, 22, 45, 40, and 9.
40 and 9, yeah.
So like crazy
range on that. And like the M&P 2.0, you have 22, 9mm, and 45, and that's it. I think they might have 40 cal now. But
maybe. And if you want like another Smith & Wesson, you can get the M&P Easy, which is the 380.
The 380. And that
one's different.
Yeah, it's not the same as the regular one.
It's not the same as the Smith & Wesson M&P. They're different. It's the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, the Smith & Wesson M&P Easy. Like it's a variety.
It's a different
of guns.
game. Yeah.
I just think Glock has that standardization perfect. Like if you want to learn how to use a gun, you can buy your Glock. This is taught in the Connecticut State permit. Like they teach you this. It's like you want to get your first handgun. They emphasize the entire time: get a Glock, get a Glock, get a Glock, get a Glock. Because it's like you want a handgun.
It's such
get
a standard.
Glock.
Yeah.
Because it's like, think about it. You're a person who's never shot a gun before. You don't know anything about guns. You have no family, friends, anyone that can tell you how to shoot a gun. You buy your first gun, which is stupid. You shouldn't do that. You should shoot a gun.
No, that's a bad
buy your
idea.
first gun.
Yeah.
You buy a 9mm. You have infinite amounts of money. It doesn't matter. You buy a Glock, right? It's a nice gun. It's very standard. Now you buy a Glock 44, which is a fucking pretty much exact replica of your 19, but it's in 22 training caliber. And now you could take that to the range, learn it, train it, figure it out, practice. It's just such a standard thing. It makes it so easy.
Yeah. We got a very good question from Capricious Bun here.
Capricious Bunny. She says, question in the gun community. Are there people dedicated to shitting on mainstream guns because they're mainstream, collecting them, etc.? And what is your opinion on them? This is great. This is like back to the beginning topic.
It really is. Well, two halves of it to start. Rifles and pistols. Rifles, the main thing. AK guys and AR guys. Then pistols, you're talking... I'd say most of it is the caliber wars, which we'll talk about in a second, I guess. Then the other half, a lot of guys... I want to say this is probably the most popular one. Revolvers versus semi-autos. And then when it comes to semi-autos, there's striker fire and hammer fire. There's a lot when it comes to pistols.
So there is a lot of where we can call gun community civil wars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say one of the bigger ones, just to start off with handguns, is 9mm versus 45.
Yeah.
There's also 9mm versus 380. Right.
Yeah.
Like people debating what's the best bullet to carry in your gun is one of the biggest like scrutiny things. Like people will shit on you for what you carry. Like the 45 guys, they're like, I'm big and proud. I got God's caliber here. You carry anything less, you're a bitch. Right? and they believe true-heartedly like this is the only gun they'll carry, the only bullet that's worth it. Yeah. And then there's people that are in 380s, and they're like, well, I don't need as much power as a 9mm. I think 380s is just right.
Yeah.
And then there's 9mm people who are like, well, my caliber is the perfect caliber. It's better than everyone's. It's like, they all have their own opinions.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes there could be some shitting on each other where they talk bad about your gun.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like, and just as a general thing, besides calibers, like even getting out of specifics, just brands. Like Glock guys shit on Smith & Wesson guys and vice versa. SIG guys shit on everyone because they're SIG guys.
Oh, yeah, that's just SIG guys, yeah.
They're just like, oh, my SIG's better. It's better than everything.
Well, there's a really big thing with, it's not as big anymore, but when Glock was first starting to become popular, like the Gen 3s, I want to say, the more go-to carry pistols were like 1911s, or at least like varieties of 1911, and then SIGs were really the top two competing with Glock. And the main things that SIG guys and the 1911 guys would talk shit about is, oh, your gun's made out of plastic. Like, that thing's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and the military uses our gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the 1911.
Oh, yeah. And the
Beretta.
The SIGs now. Oh, yeah, Beretta. Or no, SIGs never made it to the military, but they almost did with the Navy gun, I think, with the
they have it now,
P226.
the P320.
Well, that P320 now, yeah.
Yeah, but back then...
then it was the M92. But with that, like, it's plastic, sure, but the same fucking guys are guaranteed to be the AR guys because it's American rather than Russian, and that's almost entirely plastic gun. And that's
another revolutionary, I think, war for shotguns is Remington and Mossberg.
Yeah, for the pumps. Yeah,
and that's like Ford and Dodge. Like it's like everyone.
Yeah,
everyone has
Crash,
an opinion. For example, he's a Mossberg guy. He likes Mossberg. Same with I think Nunny is also a Mossberg guy. And you and me, I think we leave Remington.
I'd say we're Remington guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I've held a couple Mossbergs at range. Like I've felt them up, and they feel nice. But I feel like with Mossbergs, at least every Mossberg I've personally held, they've been self-defense Mossbergs. They've been like short little shotguns.
The
one had like a trench gun, like with the holes on top, the heat shield.
Oh,
I like that a lot. That felt cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of that in the gun community.
Yeah.
And we were talking about earlier about people that shoot 22s.
Yeah.
People love to shit on people who shoot small calibers. You shoot a small little gun, you're shooting a 22. Oh, look at that little baby gun. You're not a man if you shoot a gun like that.
Oh yeah, and even 9mm. 9mm's a pretty comparable round. But when you talk to a 45 guy about it, they're like, I can drop a man in his tracks in 2 rounds.
Yeah. 9mm, I won't stop anything. You ever fought a crackhead? Won't do nothing.
Yeah, let's push into the calibers here, because I feel like that's where this is going to end up.
Oh yeah,
I'd say the number one caliber war right now, 9mm versus 45, and this goes into concealed carry too. There's so many variables, which is this is all opinion from now on, really. But 9mm versus 45, the 45 guys say I would rather have to shoot a guy twice than 5 times with a 9mm. And okay, sure, that it is factual that 45 is a more powerful round. And the 9mm guys are like, I'd rather have another 15 rounds to launch at a guy
than
the 7 you get, or it depends on the gun. But
usually between 7 and like 10. I don't see many bigger unless you got like a fucking extended clip, and at that point you're not concealing.
Then it's not concealed, and that's the main 2 halves of it. The problem, let's there's so much to go into with this. It's all opinion based on would you rather shoot a guy twice or 5 times, whatever. The problem comes down to firstly how good you are with the gun. If you can't hit shit, I'd rather have 20 tries than 7 before having to reload, or you might only carry 1 mag with you, which a lot of people do. But now you're talking about magazine limitations, where you can only hold 10 rounds max in your gun in some states.
A full size. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the 45s. Like.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Like, 10 mil or 10 rounds is as many as you can handle in most 45s. I think the Glock can handle 13, the double stacked one, but
big
it's a big gun. Yeah, that's not really a concealed carry gun. Yeah, and so, you know, if you get a Glock 19, you could hold 10 rounds in the 45 version, right? At least I think. Or is it the Glock 19? Does the Glock 19 even have a 45? I'm blanking now.
The Glock, I think the 45 Glock is the Glock like 25. It's not even
or the
45.
23.
It's the Glock something.
Yeah.
It's like 20 something, 26, something like that.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing with the Glock, you can only handle 10 rounds with the 45 or a couple more even. But then you're talking about 9 mil where you can handle 18 rounds plus 1 or 17 plus 1 in your gun. That's a lot of options. But when you're only legally allowed to carry 10, what's the point of carrying a 9? And it just kind of shuts down the whole debate, because if I only have 10, I'm carrying 45. I'll carry 357 if I can. Or even fucking, I don't even know, 44 Magnum if possible. But
yeah, I think it's for specifically 9 mil versus 45, I guess. That's in states where 10 rounds is the limit. That's when the 45 guys win. Yeah, I believe. Yeah. But even then, I still think there's arguments for a 9mm.
Oh,
I still think in terms of, if you want to talk about compact and subcompact, there's no that 19 like the most common 45 is a 1911. It's just just is. It always probably will be. Even the short like 1911s are really fucking big. Like they're fat as shit. Yeah. They're big guns. Yeah. Heavy no matter what. Right.
Yeah.
You could get Glocks like in 9mm fucking that can hold like 2 fingers on it, like that's it, and it's like small as shit.
Oh yeah, like the 27 Glock 27, I think, or 23. I forget.
There's the only 40. There's a 45 Glock that holds like 7 rounds.
Yeah,
and it's the G39 or something, and that one's pretty fucking small. I think it's even like 5 or it's a really low amount. Gun. It's double stack and it can barely fit. Yeah, it has 6, and it's standard. So 6 rounds is all it can fit in that Glock, which is like 6 rounds to have a comfortably sized carry. Yeah. What kind of shit is that?
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, then there's the whole other half. Like, if I can only have 10 rounds, I would definitely have a 45. But like, there's so much shooter preference too. Like, I'm a big guy. My 5'3", 100 whatever pound mother isn't gonna want a 45 over a 9mm.
Yeah, and they shouldn't carry a 45.
Oh, even a 9mm is a little bit. Like 380 would be fine.
Like that's the thing for like like family members who don't shoot a lot or don't plan to, like giving them a 45, they're gonna pull that shit out when they need it, and they're gonna hit the fucking ceiling. Like they're not gonna
fucking
have hit anything.
Control over it the way that you should. And that's it. The whole debate really comes down to shooter preference. And there's really nothing you can do about that. It's all opinions, but there's so much controversy with it though.
Yeah, the real reality, in my opinion, is you shoot someone with 22, with enough it'll work.
Exactly.
And that's just true with everything. 380s will work. 9mm work. 45, 40, 357, whatever, it works. It'll work at some point.
If you hit them, it works.
It'll work. Even as one, like, will do its job.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you could talk all you want, like, all this thing, but in reality, 90% of the tactics and shit you train for won't happen. You're going to pull that out and freak out, and you're going to pray that you hit something.
Oh, yeah. And chances are, you're more likely to never have a problem where you never have a problem anyways. Ever. And that's what you want. That's best case.
That's what you want. That's best case scenario. You never even have to worry about it.
You never have to pull your gun ever.
You never have to touch it in a way that's not fun at the range.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, to wrap up that whole topic, shooter preference, really.
Yeah, for carry.
For carry, yeah. Well, it's a whole different thing if you're just having a range day.
My
or self-defense at home, but...
I've been recently really into carrying involving 380 versus 9mm. I've been looking into it a lot.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching a lot of videos about the real differences between 9mm and 380. Like how big of a that's what I always wonder, because it's like 380 was called 9mm Browning. They're around a similar size. One's a little bit shorter. What's the real difference? What's the meat in the potatoes?
In reality, they are the same size. It's 0.355 inches, which is 9mm. It's just the American 9mm versus the European 9mm. But yeah, sorry, continue.
I've been looking at a lot, and I've been seeing a lot of videos that back when like 380, again, like 2000 up to like 2012, 380 was completely unviable. It's like the rounds weren't hitting enough. They were just like old. They used old technology. It just didn't give that oomph that a 9mm does.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a lot of the argument was like, why would it was so accessible?
Yeah.
When you're still able to just get a 9mm, it's like a 380 and a 9mm. There's not much difference. Besides subcompact, that 380s are super small,
tiny. Yeah.
And they can feel better because they're like skinnier and like they're easier to hold.
Yeah.
You know, they're easier to operate because they're so small.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember hearing everyone hates 380, but it's like I don't know. Recently, in my opinion, I haven't seen it, and like I haven't seen a lot of dudes who like live by 380s.
Yeah.
They're kind of nice. They're kind of
not too bad.
I think
it's better than 38 Special. That's a whole different round.
Yeah, they use like some shit black powder, slow ass rounds kind of thing.
Well, tiny ass cartridge. Like it's still 9mm, but it's this long. So of a case at least, but
the case on 38 Special is pretty fucking long, ain't it?
Oh, compared to Browning?
I'm pretty sure 38 Special is a fucking long boy case.
Never mind. Oh, it does. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's like a revolver like length. Because I have a shell on my I picked it up, just, walking and found it. Lucky heirloom. And those things, and I was like, this is a 38. Like people say this shit's for pussies. Like, well, this thing looks fucking huge.
Damn, never mind. I don't know why, but I was thinking that it was tinier.
Yeah, well, because everyone talks about how underpowered they are. I think they're big because I heard some shit about like the powder that's put into them is so fucking weak. It's just they're slow. Like they're not like snappy and zippy like 9mm. It's like perfectly made. It's like a flying. 38's like a slow fat. It's like 45. It's just slow as shit. It doesn't do the job.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
I don't know, I've been looking at line to like 38 and 380 because like I always hear people talk shit about it, like, oh, 9mm's king, but like I watched someone shoot a pork bone with a 9mm, shattered it, cut it in half. They shot it with a 380, and it went like halfway in and cracked it. It was just like it was like a fucking, I don't even know how to explain it, but like in a representation like a thumb's difference.
Yeah.
Like let's say you had like a thumb war, right?
Yeah.
It was like a thumb. And the person using 9mm had like a half. It was like just a little bit better, but like in reality, it didn't change much. I watched videos of people, what's his name? Oh god, it's gonna take me a minute. All something. I need his name. Like I need to say his fucking. That guy's great.
Bet.
Paul Harrell, right? Harrell, however you want to say his name.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've seen his videos. He makes really good, like almost documentary style gun videos. Like it's like they're always like 50 minutes. You've seen he's a little bit of an older gentleman.
Okay.
He was in the military. He was in the Marines. He's like a fucking super experienced guy, and he does this target where he takes oranges. Okay. Still in the racks and puts that over them, and then a layer of fleece. And then like 8 layers of fleece behind him because they want it to stop. He wants to see the bullet, how many fleeces it goes through.
Yeah.
And he'll compare the damages. So like he's like this, these represent ribs and cartilage in the way. This is your lungs, what the orange is, like where the lungs you hit. And this is a center mass shot. Yeah. And he shot him with 380s and 9mm.
Yeah. And
the difference is like the 9mm usually just over penetrates and it goes far as shit.
Yeah.
Right. and the 380 will stop a little earlier, but it's like it's really minimal difference.
Yeah.
380 is still definitely weaker though. If you want to like argument that, like 9mm will shred through people.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Hollow points versus FMJ makes such a big difference in every round.
Oh yeah.
It's such a big difference. And sometimes if you get certain rounds like 45 hollow points, they do well, but it's such a slow moving round already that they don't pen that far.
They don't need to like they don't really
they don't need any
points.
slowing down. Oh yeah. So yeah. Do you want to move on to the names of 380? I have a full list of the names for 380.
Full list. Oh, I can't wait.
So it was introduced by Colt in 1908 as 380 ACP. That's the first official name we have. But it evolved into 380 ACP. Personally. Makes sense to me.
I like it because it just sounds like the 45 ACP's little brother, and I like
it.
That.
Kind of does. It kind of does.
It's a nice little name. But
yeah. So it went to 380 Auto, which still makes sense to me. And then we get to 9mm Browning, 9mm Quarto, 9mm Kurz, 9mm Short, and then 9x17mm, and then 9mm Browning Cordo, which I don't get it.
So many fucking names. Like 9mm is always 9. It's 9mm Luger, 9mm fucking,
like
you know,
Parabellum, 9x19. Yeah. Like I get I get 380 ACP, 380 Auto's fine to me.
It's both
even
A's.
9mm short, that's fine because it is a shorter 9mm.
It's just a short 9. Like that makes sense. You see 9mm short, and like that's what I think of 22s, right? There's 22 LR, and 22 Magnum, and then 22 short, right? I think there's one other. It's like a W or something.
Well, there's Hornet. Yeah, 22 Hornet. Yeah. That
it's like when you think of it's like a long rifle and short, and so you're never gonna buy a short by accident because it's a short. So when you see 9mm short, you're gonna think in your brain, what if it's too short? You know, like.
Yeah, well, that and like with 22, when you're buying 22, you're just gonna think, okay, LR. It's just 22 because pretty much every gun is 22 LR. And then if you get 22 short, you're thinking, interesting. Magnum can be a little confusing because like same thing with like 12 gauge Magnum loads.
Yeah.
Or like high brass, however you want to label it. It's the same round. So if you're a shotgun guy moving to 22 and you see 22 Magnum, you're probably just going to think, oh, that's just a heavier load. That's like fucking neighbor Jimmy's pissing hot reloads, you know? Like, yeah. But, with this, if you have a 380 ACP or 380 Auto, which is probably what it would be labeled as in America, because we use the standard, you know, like, I've never seen 9mm Browning on a box before, ever. But I know it's there. Same thing with Cordo and Kurz. I've heard of 9mm Kurz, but yeah. Anyways, like, there's no standard for it other than 380 ACP. And all of them are the same. So, like, if you own a 380 ACP and you see a box of 9mm Browning, are you going to know that it's the same thing without having done research prior?
Without someone telling you or you, like, having prior knowledge? I don't believe so. Unless you read the box and it says, like, 9x17.
Yeah, then that makes sense. Or, like...
But if it just says
380
9mm Browning, I'm going to look... I want to see the box real quick. I'm going to take a peek ski for myself. I just want to see, like...
Yeah.
I want to see the box. Yeah. Fucking... That's Luger. Oh, this is Browning 9mm. You can't even fucking find it on the internet, but, like, Jesus they exist.
Christ. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Well, it's kind of like... It makes me feel like it's going to be similar to the... Like, if you get a 5.56 AR, you can also run 223. But if you have a 223 AR, you cannot run 5.56. People might start thinking, oh, I have a 9mm Luger. I could run 9mm Browning. It's the same thing. Which
and that's when
you technically can. It'll fit, but it's not suggested.
Yeah, like, that's like... It's...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very it's very sus. Like I hear about that a lot. Like 5.56 and 223. For a while, I thought they were exactly the same. Like I was under that impression. I don't know what they are. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, me too. When I was younger and just played like Arma, I thought it was the same thing.
Oh, 223 Remington. Oh, that's a fucking 223.
Yeah.
That you could put that in a AR-15. It also shoots 5.56. But like, that's fucking weird. Like how it works. It's like 223s can't shoot 5.56s, but 5.56s can shoot 223s.
Yeah. Like I know it's a pressure thing, but it shocks me that they're so much different. That they're so different to each other that you need a separate gun to fire it.
Yeah, like that's why I like the M1 fucking. There's like the Mini 14 by Ruger. Shoots 5.5. I think it shoots 5.56. So it also can shoot 223, right?
Yeah.
And I really like that about them, right? Yeah. That you could shoot both rounds.
Multiple calibers, yeah.
I don't think there's much reason to own a gun that only shoots 223 if you want to shoot, like, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you limit yourself when you just get a 5.56 that shoots both? And then buy 223 when it's available if you can't get 5.56.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think you can I don't even think it's like a problem. Like, it's not even an issue.
You could load them one after the other in a mag, and you'll fire through it. You'll definitely hear a difference. You'll probably feel a difference,
I think you could shoot the 223 the entire gun's life, and it would be fine. Like, it's
it's not gonna. Well, 5.56 is a heavier load than 223, like powder wise, and that's the whole like thing. You might blow your gun up if you run 5.56 through it. So yeah,
but it's like that's what I think. It's just like, why would you limit yourself to a 223 and get You could buy a 5.56 AR-15 or whatever, 5.56 anything, and run 223. It just makes practical sense. Because then it's like, it's kind of like having a 9mm. Like I'd love to have a 9mm just because of how universal the ammo is. There's so many 9mm that you can jam into that fucking thing. There's so many. There's always going to be 9mm somewhere, right?
Yeah.
All of NATO uses it. It's going to be somewhere.
Definitely.
But talking about carry, a point I wanted to bring up is for me personally, in my state, in my current situation in this country.
Yeah.
I really thought about carrying smaller caliber firearms, like a lot.
Yeah.
And the reason I've been thinking about it, right, is because they are guaranteed to never be banned or restricted or taken out or anything. There's Glock mod. Like, for example, in Cali, the Glock Gen 5s are banned, I think. Yeah. Maybe even the Gen 4s. I don't know. They banned certain generations of Glock, but other Glocks are allowed. And like shit like that. And it's like, I could totally see my fucking state banning Glocks or something. Because they're used in crime, because handgun crimes are the biggest crime, right?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. So I've really thought like, I might even, I don't know if I'd carry it beside if I had a 9mm, but I've definitely thought like in my situation, I'm not in an area where I think I need a lot of firepower anyways. I wouldn't even mind really carrying a 38 or a 380, as a lot of people are like, oh, it's not enough, but like, I just don't think I'm in an environment where I need something like that. Like, I don't. If I had a 380, I'd feel a lot safer.
Yeah.
And that's facts.
Well, I think caliber wise, it'll never be a problem. I don't think they're gonna go across the board and be like 9mm gone. Yeah. Like even the closest thing we have to that is the Russian ammo ban, and it's not caliber that's banned. It's just we don't import shit from Russia. They're not even banning it
for like a reason. They're banning it because it's fucking Russian sanctions or
whatever the fuck it is.
Some bullshit with Russia.
Like I don't think any state would just across the board ban a caliber, but guns wise, like say you buy a Glock and your Glock gets banned, then you're kind of fucked. So that I get.
Your Glock gets banned, then it's like, oh, Smith & Wesson. Do you see that M&P that's for military and police fucking banned?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They can really go hard on it. They can make it less rounds. They can make it whatever the fuck they want to. They can pretty much just change it in any way to restrict you and make it harder to have your gun. Oh, right? And it's just like, I don't know.
Glock rhymes with cock. Farmers farm cocks for meat. That's not vegan. Banned.
Yeah, in my state, the amount of people who own guns in crime is probably so fucking little. I think we have 200 gun crimes a year.
Yeah.
And that's not talking murder. That's gun crimes.
That's in total, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I bet a lot of those are people who like bought a gun and didn't know it was like a problem what they did, and they put something on it they shouldn't have, or they bought a gun and then they got banned and they didn't know, or whatever.
Or whatever.
They have a high capacity magazine and it's not registered.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. But I'm in this place where it's like I'm probably gonna have the advantage on most people if I ever have to use a firearm. If I get robbed, I really doubt someone's gonna have a gun in this state just because it's so fucking restricted. Like,
it's so hard
legally
to get
getting it is like impossible.
Well,
illegally getting it must be difficult.
Illegally getting it's probably easier than legally getting it.
Probably in my state, I bet.
That's true here, and it's so easy to get like there's no process. You walk in and walk out with a gun. And it's still easier to get an illegal firearm, but
in my state, I knew people, like I knew people who'd sell guns. Like I know people who like would show me shit on their Snapchat, like, bro, look at this kid. You remember him from high school? Look at this motherfucker. He's selling guns, and it's like straight. They're just selling fucking illegal guns just casually on Snapchat.
Yeah,
and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking wild how that shit
happens. There's definitely guns in this state, but it's just like the amount of times they're used is so fucking little. Like I don't know. I think a lot of people like they want to be over like, oh, what if it's a crackhead? Oh, what if it's this? What if it's that? And it's like, I don't know. It just doesn't bother me to carry a 38 or something small. Like I wouldn't care. 22, I'd carry it in a revolver if it was over nothing.
I mean, if it gets down to 22, I'm not gonna choose 22 over anything else. If I have the option.
Yeah, but like I'd carry it.
Over nothing, I'd carry it, yeah.
Yeah, if the only thing I could carry is... And like my thing is like, I guess this is the way I think about it. If I'm going to places I feel uncomfortable enough that I want to carry, I'm gonna bring something big.
Yeah, true.
If I'm going to Walmart, or I'm going to fucking, I don't know, like Subway, it'd be really easy to have a little 38 pocket pistol, right? Little 38 revolver, and just throw that bitch into my holster. It's super tiny. Don't even feel it. It's comfortable.
It's like a little car gun or something. Yeah.
Oh, fucking nothing but 9mm. Like if it's under 9mm, it ain't worth it. It's like, I think a 380.
I think that works fine. I'd care more about magazine capacity more than caliber, anyways. Yeah. Which is that's revolvers kind of suck, but when you get to smaller rounds, you can handle 8 in a lot of guns. But
if you get to 22, you can get a 10.
Yeah. Well, my main problem with revolvers, honestly, isn't even ammo capacity. It's reload time. I could reload a Glock in 3 seconds. Reloading a revolver while you're stressed? Fuck me.
You're not gonna reload.
That's not happening. You're not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just keep pulling the trigger till it doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah, but that's just the reasons, like, people talk about, like, well, when you can have this, why would you have this? But in my eyes, I think it's a bit more than just, like, killability.
Oh, there's so much more to it. Yeah.
It's like, for me, it's like, I think comfort is a big thing, too. Like, I would really, if I had a comfortable revolver that I could shoot so casually, and I know I'd hit every shot, I'd much rather that than, like, my 30-round fucking extended clip 45 ACP 1911 that can, like, fucking kill anything that moves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Side question. What's both your favorite Glock?
Glock 19.
I agree, actually. I was gonna say, like, the Glock 19, definitely. The 19X, I really didn't like it.
Oh,
it was a modded a bit.
I wasn't even thinking about the 19X. I'm not a fan of it. Well, it's really price tag. I don't want to pay that much for something that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, well, the 19X is just the 17 and the 19 mixed.
Yeah.
But, like, mine was, like, they had a weird mag. It was, like, fucking a thumb's thickness down. Like, they did a bunch of shit to it that I may not have liked. But I don't know. Like, I just shot it, and I just didn't like it. It just didn't feel good. Like, the 19 felt great. Yeah. Like, when I shot the 19, I was like, you know, this is a good shooter. Like, I'd carry this.
This runs nicely.
This feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I shot the 19X, I was like, this feels like shit. I thought this was like, I got it because it was a 19X. It sounded so cool, like special and expensive, and it kind of sucked. I felt the same way about the HK VP9. I got handed an HK VP9. I saw HK, never seen one or shot one. What was the first thing I did? Oh, I want to shoot an HK. Never seen someone even carry one before. You know, they're not common here, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, they give me this VP9. I could already tell this fucking thing's probably like $1,000. I've never even looked it up. I just bet it's HK. It's got to be expensive, right? I go to shoot it, and that thing felt worse than the Glock, the fucking Smith and Wesson, any.
Yeah.
It was the worst gun I've ever shot.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it, and like, who knows? It could have been some bullshit that they did. Like, who fucking knows? I'm renting it, right? And they could have changed the triggers. I have no idea, but it felt like shit. It didn't shoot. I let my dad were going to shoot. I let him shoot the rest of it because I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. I think it looks cool though, the VP9.
It's interesting. It looks like, I like the back, how it's like striker, and it kind of reminds me of the Walther P99 in a way.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Or maybe even like a 5.7. It just didn't feel good. I don't know. I didn't like it. The grip sucked too. It was like uncomfy. It was like rough. It didn't feel good to me.
Yeah, I got you. Let me see here. So yeah, then I guess we just have CDC to move to then, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we can even talk about shotguns if you want, like what gauges.
Shotgun gauges. So shotgun gauges are a little weird. They're a very old system, but top few of them. 12 gauge number one by far.
12 gauge is the king. Like it just has to be.
Oh yeah, and then there's still 10 gauge, but it's firstly expensive and rare to have ammo for. The guns aren't even that hard to find, but the ammo, fuck me.
I've never even seen someone with a 10 gauge.
Yeah, they're cool. I don't really get the point of it though. Like, there's nothing that big that you would use a shotgun for. But yeah, anyways, then second is going to be 20 gauge. Third would be 410 for sure. And that's really like a direct scale of usefulness, honestly. 12 gauge is most useful, 20 gauge is second most, and then 410 is towards the end.
Yeah, I think 410 is kind of like shit. I don't know. I've watched a lot of videos. It's kind of gimmicky more than useful. Yeah, I've watched a lot of videos about 410. Like, I've watched people shoot them in comparison to 12 and 20. Yeah. And it's like 20 gauges to me even sometimes feel a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, for like how much I think of everyone thinks of a shotgun as like, oh, it's a fucking like boomstick, you know?
Yeah.
It rips people apart. That's what you think. It rips shit apart. It fucking destroys, right?
Yeah.
20 gauges are even a little underwhelming.
They are, yeah.
Especially like birdshot 20 gauge. It's like, it's a lot. It's significantly weaker than 12 gauge.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you go down to 410, and it's like,
there's really
you're
nothing
killing
at that
small
point.
varmint. Like, I think I'd rather have a 22 than a 410.
Definitely.
In any situation.
Yeah.
Like,
no, 410 is such a shitty. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but there's no real uses for it.
Yeah, you can't get it in a pistol unless you get like a revolver.
Well, unless you get like the judge, and that's
those
like
are illegal here.
Oh well, nice.
Fucking, I can't even get them because they're a handheld shotgun. So fucking dangerous.
So dangerous.
A 45, you know, but whatever.
Yeah, like I would never buy a judge anyways. I don't think I'll ever buy a 410 in general. I'd probably be more likely to buy a judge than a 410 shotgun. In all honesty.
I think I'd buy a 410 shotgun more than I would buy if I live a farmstead life at some point, if I end up buying a farm, I'd get a 410 for fun. And just for varmint, snake, I don't fucking know. Like that, pretty much, like what I just said, like varmint and snake. If I go dove or quail.
Yeah.
That's what 410s are usually used for. But even then, like, I think the revolver would just be funner than like any
well, it's a fun gun. You're never going to use it for anything meaningful other than just chilling.
Yeah, I went to the range last week. They had a Remington 870 and 410.
Oh,
and it was weird. It was not gonna lie, I love the feeling of small caliber guns. To me, I like guns when they're smaller than me. That's a big thing for me. It's like, I have big hands. I can fit Glocks and stuff. Yeah. But I prefer like a gun feeling nice and like skinny and slick and like light. Yeah. So like when I picked up this 410, it felt good because it was like a light pullback and like it's a small little shotgun. It was like full size too, but like it feels like nothing. Your shotgun's like heavy shit. This gun was like, I was holding it with like one hand and like a fucking handgun and like fucking with it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's shocking how like different 410 is the 12 gauge. It's like a fucking different thing.
It is, yeah. Well, that's for clays at least, and that's really all I know shotgun wise is clays. Other than like ballistics bullshit knowledge, but
yeah,
like 20 gauge is usually recommended to beginners just because of kick. Like if you've never shot a gun before, 20 gauge is usually your go-to. And it's a little bit harder to hit things with because there is less load per round, which isn't the end of the world. First time shooting your shotgun, if you're clay shooting or whatever, you're not trying to hit things, you're just trying to have a good time. But
yeah. Like unless you're competitive in the shit,
you're,
I think the big thing would be hunting. If you're hunting, like,
then
and you're missing shit, that's an issue.
Yeah. But yeah, then there's like medium level, intermediate, that's the word. Intermediate and all that, you're gonna have a 12 just because it's so useful. You can't go wrong with really almost any 12 gauge.
You can get anything you need. You need to kill deer, buck. You need to kill deer again, slugs. You need to kill a moose, slugs. Like, you need bird shot. You need non-lethals, beanbags. You know, like
you could get anything in a 12 gauge.
Fit in a plastic tube around this size of plastic tube. You can put into your shotgun and use for something. I watch people like put like razors and shit into shotgun shells and shoot them out. Like,
well, I mean, Dragon's Breath, Lachette, all that stuff.
Yeah, there's just so much shit to shoot out. Like 12 gauge is just and I think like 12 gauge, it's like one of the best rounds of any ammo, I think, because it's just useful for anything. Like you can hunt deer from far as shit away with slugs.
Slugs
like
have
yards and yards away.
Oh yeah,
like 50 feet. I'd say even like a couple, like 100, maybe 100. You could probably hit far. I don't know. I've never even shot a slug. I have no fucking clue how far you can hit.
Yeah,
but I think you can shoot super far.
They fly far. The problem is accuracy because it's smooth bore. That's really your problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 12 gauge is the king. And then 410 is like expert only. It's like, it's clays wise at least. It's so fucking hard to run 410 clays. Any level.
It's just like, I just think 12 gauge is like, you could give them a 20 gauge to start them off if it's like, I think especially if it's a young kids, child or maybe a very small woman. It's like that 12 gauge would just be a little too much. Like it would be significant and almost unsafe. 20 gauge.
Well, 20 gauge is shockingly popular in clays. A lot of guys shoot it. And I think mainly it's price. 20 gauge is so cheap most of the time. And it's
I know a lot of guys who use 20 gauge for bird hunting too, like for waterfowl.
Oh yeah.
And usually they usually do 20 gauge semis, which I think kind of makes sense because you move less as you're going and hitting duck. Which that can make sense to me, like sight alignment wise, like you know, like if you can get them with the 20 gauge, I see it. You know, like you get less recoil, so you can hit more. Right?
Oh yeah.
In the flock or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I just feel like 12 gauge is like there's no point in dropping the 20. I'd probably own a 20 gauge too, but it's more gonna be like I just want both.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like if I have multiple 12s, there's not going to be much of a point of me getting a 20 unless I have a lot of money digging a hole in my pocket.
Yeah. Well, my thing is like I think I'm gonna own probably one of every caliber at some point.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, not every caliber.
Maybe not every rifle caliber, but like every pistol
every
caliber.
common caliber, I'm gonna own.
Yeah, like a 40. I'm gonna have a 40, a 38, a fucking 380, a 9mm, a 357, a 45, a fucking shotgun, 12 and 20. I'm gonna have 5.56. Like, I'm gonna have like all the common shit. I'm probably gonna have one. You know, because why fucking not? I want to change my gun up for the day. I don't want to carry the 9. I want to carry the 40 or the 45 or
whatever.
I want to change it up. I don't know, like people. I'm sure you're gonna get bored of something. You know, you want to go shoot something different. So, I don't know. I really do like 12 gauge though. I can't wait to pound some out in the next upcoming couple weeks.
Oh yeah, it's coming up. Part 2 of that one video on the. Oh yeah, whoever's watching this, fucking youtube.com/CanuckSquared. Fucking give us money. Anyways.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick hydrate.
Oh
yeah. My throat's hurting.
I'm with you. But yeah, then it's just CDC Facts, and then we're done. We got good time on this one.
One second. Let me just run a monetized right there as I take a nice sip.
There we go. We'll have his gun room XD, and I will get my weed
I
room.
get my weed room. Yeah.
There you go. I'm not coming over.
But yeah, like I plan to get a good amount of just everything. Like I want.
Yeah.
I know I can't get every rifle. Like, no one needs every one.
Well, there's so many bullets through history. You're never gonna have everything.
You don't need like I don't know if I'm gonna need a 243 or a 4570.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
A 300 Savage. Like I.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have every round, but every common one that I'd want to shoot, which is practical, I'll probably have one of each, and probably multiple. Like I could see having 2 or 3 fun little 380s. I could see having a couple 22s, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially 22s, they're so fucking cheap, you know. And because it's like another thing is it's like not because I'm gonna buy them wanting one, but I'm probably gonna buy a shitty one and then want to upgrade, and I'm not gonna get rid of the shitty one because that's way more effort than just keeping it. And like. You know, and it's gonna be used. It's not worth money, so why should I sell it? I'll just keep it and give it to my kid, or I don't fucking know. I'll shoot it once in a while.
Oh yeah. So yeah, CDC Facts. I feel like this one will be quick. It's really just gonna be numbers.
It's just a big old list.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, do you want to go over the numbers? You were the one who found these ones. You know them better.
So. For any naysayers, any people who want to complain about guns in the U.S. and how everyone's getting murdered, I don't want to get shot in the U.S. There's so many guns, there's so many shootings, there's so many murders. Here's what I'm gonna say. The CDC, right, pretty much deals in all.
They're in charge. Yes, exactly.
They're like the morticianers of the U.S. They fucking deal with everything. They deal with disease control. They deal with fucking everything health related that will kill you.
Yeah.
They did the math right. 32,000 gun deaths, average a year. Okay. And you might think, wow, holy shit, that's a big problem. 30,000 people? Well, that's insane. But I want to break it down to what we're really talking about when we talk about gun deaths. 32,000, this big number. I see it thrown around a lot in the media. 60% of all gun deaths, okay, are suicide. Okay, a year. 60%.
And that's not like accidental, like, oh fuck, accidentally blew my brains out.
That's not accidents. That's someone wants to die.
Yeah.
And their choice is to use a firearm.
Yeah.
Because I imagine it's just efficient or whatever. It's
painless, quick.
There's no jumping, there's no scariness to it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's easy. It's efficient. Yeah.
That's 19,200 people.
Yeah.
You're talking about gun violence and gun crime. Like, I don't want to get shot. Well, if you are not a person who plans to commit such acts, well, that's 60% of it right there. That's 19,000 people. If you're not one of them, you're not getting killed that way. So 60%, you have like 40% chance now. Okay, 30% are accidents. People fucking up. People mess up. People dropping it. Someone gets a hold of it that isn't supposed to. Someone shooting it and it drops and boom, goes off. Something. That's 1,280, right?
Or no,
that's 960 people. 4% are justified shootings, 1,280, and that is just shootings where the person that was shot was killed.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't bring up firearm defense annually or anything like that, right? Most times those go unreported, unspoken of, or just unrecorded. If someone gets robbed, oh no, they pull their gun out and the person runs away. A lot of people are like, well, what do I do now? I'm gonna call the police. It's not gonna do anything, and they go home. Yeah. And even besides that, when they report it, they didn't shoot them. There's hundreds of thousands of cases of people, not a year, but just in general, of people pulling their gun and it's over. No one gets shot. Nothing happens. Right.
Yeah.
There's over 2,500,000 cases of self-defense with firearms without killing.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But yeah, back to our statistics. 33% of those are homicides. Okay. 33% are homicides. That is 10,560 murders a year. Okay. 80% of those homicides were caused or related in gang violence, meaning gang members, gang causes, gang members robbing people, gang members being shot. That's 8,448 people were killed by gangs, right? That leaves 1,712 people in the country that get killed by pure just murder. They get murdered for walking down the street and they get robbed and shot. That's 1,700 people who die, innocent people who did nothing wrong. So if you're not suicidal, if you're responsible with your firearm, you're not robbing people so you don't get killed by a justified killing, and you're not related in a gang, right? That leaves you a 0.00003% chance of death by a firearm. Oh no, sorry, that's with being in a gang. Without being in a gang, that leaves you a 0.00005% chance of death by firearm in this country. So if you're not in a gang, you don't want to commit suicide, and you don't commit crime, that is your chance of being harmed or killed by a firearm in this country.
It is in a country so close to zero.
In a country of 325 million people, right? You have a literal, not a percent chance of being shot. A percent chance, but not 1%. It's below zero.
Yeah.
It's 0.00005% chance of death by firearm in this country. If you scaled this down, like, you could take these statistics, right? 60% of this, that, and you could put this into a society that's a small country. If you scale by population, right?
Yeah.
You could show it, like, in the UK, it would be like nothing. It'd be like 50 people or something. It would scale so insurmountably, like, little that it would be so unlikely. I don't even know how many fucking zeros you could possibly add to that statistic by giving smaller countries.
Oh, yeah.
If you got the math right. If the CDC, I messed up my words, but that's the CDC's math. That's not my math. That's the statistics they gave. I'm just reading them like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's CDC statistics.
And then I got more CDC statistics. So, defensive gun uses. Times when there was no death or injury. Or actually, no, sorry. This does include deaths and injury. But in justified defensive uses, there's a minimum of 60,000 defensive gun uses a year. That's the statistic that they know that get reported. The majority, the vast majority, do not get reported. A lot of it is, like you said, oh, dude trying to rob me, brandish my gun, let him know that he's there, or that it's there, he runs away. You don't call the cops, kind of thing.
Yeah, no one's gonna call the cops for that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's already almost double, I believe. Or, almost double the amount of deaths in justified defensive gun uses. And that range, the estimate from the CDC on their report of priorities for research to reduce the threat of firearm-related violence, the top end of their estimate is 2.5 million defensive gun uses each year. And not all of them are killings in self-defense or anything. A lot of it is, oh, brandished my gun, showed him that it was there, even shot and missed, whatever it is.
Well, we even showed gun deaths a year for justified shootings is 1,200 something.
Yeah, so then this would be...
It's 1,000 of that. So out of the 2.5 million, 1,000 of them had to shoot.
Yeah.
Or whatever, if that's maximum statistic, if we go with that.
Yeah.
Of their estimate, their educated estimate.
Yeah. And so then I got some more numbers here.
Yeah, that's crazy how, like, so it's take those 60,000. You pulling a gun, you're pulling a gun because you're afraid for your life. So life or death situations. That's the only time you pull a gun on anyone. You don't pull a gun on someone because they fucking say hello. You pull a gun because they're going to murder you. Let's say, hypothetically, if all of those were murders, the homicide rate would almost double without those guns there to protect those 60,000 people reported, and furthermore, possibly hundreds of thousands of people unreported.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the other half of this, 86% of all victims of firearm death, 86% are men. 87% of all non-fatal firearm injuries are also men. So that 0.000005 or however many zeros there were is incrementally decreased if you're a woman in the United States. You have such a slim chance as a woman in the United States.
I can't do that kind of math because you need to go to college for statistics for that.
Yeah, I don't know
statistical
that kind of
probability.
Yeah.
But like, that shit is low.
Yeah.
That's you have to be something to get that unlucky. Like, it's very.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It is such a low percentage.
20%. That's
the likelihood. Yeah. Not even. That's
no, I'm saying
13%.
13% of all shootings are women. Out of that, just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, if you're, holy shit.
It's such a low 13% of 0.000 whatever the fuck. Yeah, and you'd have your number, which is. I could do that math real quick actually, but it's rough because I don't know math.
All right, we're getting a rough estimate here.
How many zeros are there?
For which one?
The 5.
0.000005. Okay, we're doing a little bit of
zeros.
Rough math. Not by the CCC, rough math.
Rough math, bro. Times 0. So your chance of getting into, let me see. Yeah, your chance of death if you don't plan on joining a gang, committing any crimes, or committing suicide is, as a woman, 0.000000065. There's a whole extra zero in there.
That's your percentage as a lady.
Yeah.
Or a woman to be killed by a firearm in this country.
Yeah.
I honestly think you might be more likely to be killed by a cow in this country.
Oh, you are.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like
you're more likely to get struck by lightning at that point. Yeah.
I saw some shit where it's like you're 22 more times more likely to be killed by a cow than a shark or something.
Yeah.
I've seen that thing a lot. Like, what is the statistic for cow to gun? How many times more likely? Even then, I think you're 50. I don't even know how many trillion times more likely to get hit by a car, like a car-related death, especially if you're a teenager. Like, want to talk about people talk about school shootings.
Car deaths are so high.
Yeah, if you want to talk about deaths of teenagers and people talk about this all the time, they bring up Sandy Hook. You want to stop teen deaths? How about you talk about the number one source of teens' death, which is driving. Them starting driving and crashing. Car crashes kill the most children in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
It's a vicious killer. It kills a lot.
In 2019, 7 teenagers died due to motor vehicle crashes every day. And, that whole year, 2,400 teens died due to car accidents. 258,000 were injured.
Holy shit.
And
that's a lot.
That's...
How many died?
2,400 teens. And that's just teens alone.
2,400 teens.
Yeah. Versus, and that's 1 year, versus school shootings, which we were at 100 over the past 30
years or something. So our deadliest shooting for schools was 26 at Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
And per year, car deaths kill how many times that? A lot.
100 times that or so.
It's I understand the idea that one's murder and most of the others are accidents.
Yeah, a lot of them are accidents,
how many of those people do you think that get injured? The hundreds of thousands of teenagers are now crippled, are now unable to do things, paralyzed, permanently injured for the rest of their lives from fucking driving. These things are.
It's almost a suicide statistic because the leading cause of teen accidents is texting, and that's you do it to yourself. So that's
you're more likely to get hit by cars or injured in cars, just mostly anything than guns. People want to talk about I don't want to go to the U.S. I'm scared I'm gonna get shot. You shouldn't be. Your chances are as much as a plane crashing. I mean, I'm sure your chances raise. If you go into fucking the shittiest city trying to fight everybody.
Yeah.
And committing crimes. Yeah, your chance is raised, but it's still so unlikely that, like, worrying about it is as much as worrying about a car crash or a plane crash or whatever.
Yeah. And that with the suicides is the biggest part of that statistic in the shootings.
Yeah.
19,000 people. And this is 2017 statistics. Yeah. In 2018, there were 48,000 suicides.
Oh my God.
So that's double and then some.
Holy shit. That's a lot,
and
actually.
People are... Oh, it's bad. Yeah. That's just the US.
Really bad.
Yeah. But yeah, people don't talk about that shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lot of the problems with the guns have less to do with the gun and more to do with the mental health of the people. Like, the people who shoot up places are mentally ill psychopaths.
Definitely.
That go off the rim and do horrible atrocities.
Yeah.
The people who are killing themselves, which are like, what is the fuck was it? 60% of them are people who are mentally ill and have suicidal tendencies and can't help it and end up doing things like that. It's like, that's the problem. It's not the people are violent or guns are bad. It's that they have to. They just not have to do it. That's a bad way to say it, but like they feel the need to.
Yeah.
And they don't get help.
Yeah.
Why don't we focus on mental health and trying to rehabilitate people who have issues so they don't lead themselves to the 60%, over half, or lead themselves to being killed by police. A lot of people suicide by police, like
suicide by cop too.
Yeah, just suicide in general. There shouldn't be 48,000 people a year. There shouldn't be 1,000 people a year.
Yeah, no, they're realistically, apart from like accidental things, there shouldn't be any.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if you get rid of all of that stuff, right, and let's say even fuck it, leave the gang stuff in there too. Just leave it as straight, just homicides in total.
Yeah.
10,000. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Should it be that much?
The fact that it's only half of how many suicides there are, though, is ridiculous.
It's like, it's only half, and when it was in 2017, it's less than half.
Yeah.
It's not even a quarter. But it is 1/4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, that's so little compared to the real problem with guns that people are trying to suicide with them. Okay, sorry. Cars are responsible for the average of 22 human deaths in the U.S. each year. Deaths per year. Tractors, 241.
A lot lower than I thought.
Bee stings, 53. Lightning, 39. Dog bites, 31. Fuck.
So you're telling me bee stings kill more people every year than dogs? Or I guess it's probably like infection by dog bite, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's more like people probably allergic to bees.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They have like severe allergies.
Yeah.
Than people who are allergic to dogs. Dogs like, like violent dogs and like rabies or something,
Yeah, that makes
bleeding
sense.
out.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about like so I don't think your statistic's greater to be killed by tractors. It's definitely not. But it's still it's still a lot. It's still a lot.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. People focus on
wild.
Mass shootings so much when they don't even make up fucking 1% of the kill rate of a suicide per year. How many, like let's say, say we take Sandy Hook and let's say that was the significant mass shooting of the year. I don't know. There might have been a lot more. I don't fucking watch it every day. But let's say you take that 26, sorry. And obviously that's horrible. Right?
Yeah.
Should never happened. But in comparison to just straight suicides with guns or just suicide in general, it's like they focus on this, which is 25 people, which is a lot. It's way more than it should, but you kind of got to see the big picture of these statistics. You're talking about thousands of children, like thousands of teenagers getting suicided and dying by cars and all these other things. And all they say is, we need to save the children. Well, you're focusing the wrong statistic. You're going to save, for example, let's say 25 of them instead of 3,000 of them, a couple thousand of them.
Yeah.
You're not saving that many by jamming gun control in legal people's faces.
Yeah, no, well, the fact that more people die by tractors every year than a whole ass school shooting.
Yeah.
And the fact that you never hear anybody talk about tractor safety. I've never heard those two words next to each other in my life.
The biggest mass shooting in America was the Las Vegas shooting, which I think killed, I don't even know how many people, like 80?
Probably.
Something like it. Yeah. I'm gonna get the exact number.
Bet.
How many are we talking here? All right. 867 were injured during it. 400 of those were hit by gunfire. The rest were just trampled and all the other stuff from a giant crowd.
Yeah.
61 of them 61 of them were killed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 61 of them were killed. Okay. Yeah. Meaning the largest mass shooting in America.
Yeah. In American history.
Beat bee stings.
Yeah.
It didn't beat tractors.
Yeah. And that's yearly. The Las Vegas was 1 year once.
One day, which is insane. It's horrible to have 81 people slaughtered. Right?
Oh, definitely.
But tractors are killing more people.
Yeah. Well, what's the word? The inconsistent attention is a problem. It's bad. It's a horrible thing that happened, but why is that such a big deal now when nothing else that's deadlier isn't?
Yeah.
And the Las Vegas, that wasn't even kids. I'm sure there were kids there, but
there might have been
not segregated to only children like Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook was fucking horrible because whoever
that was
children,
5th grade and under that all died. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was some guy who I think he was graduated from high school. Just walks into a elementary school and shoots people. That's horrible.
Oh yeah.
Right? And that you can tell that he must have been extremely mentally disturbed. No normal person would do such a fucking heinous act.
Definitely.
But that's the thing, is we're talking about heinous acts. We're talking about mentally ill people and crazy flukes. When we could be talking about in 2020, there were 68,000 overdose deaths.
Oh yeah.
I know that obviously the people of San Diego, the people of these mass shootings obviously deserve peace and sympathy. I'm not saying, fucking ignore. They got shot. Who gives a shit?
Well, I think saying what we're doing is better than the politicians using their deaths
to get reelected.
Oh yeah.
They use it as look, I'll avenge them. No, you fucking won't. You'll do nothing to help those victims.
You're gonna use them to get yourself elected and make more money.
They always say that we're gonna who are you helping? Are you paying the family? You're not helping the fucking kids. The kids aren't here to be helped. What you could be doing is solving mental health issues and hoping that we can stop the amount of people who will someday become deranged and shoot people like a fucking maniac.
Oh yeah.
Stop the mental health suicides and maybe stop the opioids. They talk about all this crazy shit, look at all this death. And I get it's not, opioids isn't murder, right? That's, I guess you could say that. That's not murder. We're not talking about people getting killed who could have been prevented. But opioids and suicide, that's preventable.
Yeah.
Absolutely preventable. 68,000 people? That's almost double the amount of the amount of total gun deaths in all of fucking 2017.
Yeah.
In 2018, it was 46,000 deaths by opioids. In 2017, it was 47,000. It was still higher than all the gun deaths in America. But all anyone talks about when I talk to them, I'm like, I'm from the U.S. They're like, oh, mate, are you gonna shoot me? And they always they say this shit about us Americans, we're just these gun-toting, insane people.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's most average things kill more people than guns.
Yeah.
Cancer, I guarantee you, kills way more people than guns. Same with smoking.
The obesity epidemic is the #1 killer and has been for years. How many people die each year? 300,000 people a year just from heart disease?
280,000 people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And that is something that we do talk about because it's the #1. It's way up there. But not if we cared about it the same way we cared about guns, we'd be banning McDonald's. But instead we're banning AR-15s for the 30,000 deaths a year.
The thing is, like, they take AR-15s, like, they're scary. Like, that's what it is. It's scary.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's scarier? How about the 480,000 deaths per year in the U.S. from smoking?
Yeah.
1,300 people die a day from smoking cigarettes.
And then the worst part is they don't ban cigarettes. They tax them and get money from them.
They make more money
and then
off them.
They ban vaping, the only considerable alternative.
Yeah, besides nicotine patches or gum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they take something that's safer, right? Just less chemicals. There's like 8,000 chemicals in a cigarette, 4,000 chemicals.
Something like
a lot. Vape juice is what, like five chemicals mixed together?
Yeah.
Five, not even chemicals, 5 things mixed together, ingredients.
Yeah, 5 whole components. Oh, yeah.
Like nicotine, 2 types of oils, and the fucking flavor.
And then flavoring. 4 things, yeah.
There you go, sir. My headset broke. But
I gotcha.
They talk every day. It's like, what was it, 10 deaths a day in the U.S. or something I said? Something on the lines of that. Not even, like, a very small amount per day.
Yeah.
1,300 a day is insane.
That is wild.
That is ludicrous.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to process how much that is a year. It's 500,000 people.
Yeah.
But all they can focus on in the media is
guns,
school shootings, and guns, and like that's all I hear about. Why is no one like why not on the news do they play, guys, this is what's happening, the smoking epidemic? I've heard about the opioid epidemic, but even the opioid epidemic is fucking a fourth the size of the fucking, not even a fourth, like way smaller than the smoking epidemic.
And it's been shrinking for years.
Yeah. So, why are we talking about smoking? Do you think just an opinion, I don't know, maybe some of those people might have some shaking hands of big tobacco or some bullshit, but
what can I
the
say?
fuck are they?
Oh yeah. Well, and then they're taxing, $1.50 per pack that's sold in the U.S. And
they're just making fucking money. They're picking them out. They're making the people who are smoking have less money, like financially deterring them. Like, which I get it. I get the idea that like maybe if they taxed it a shit ton, right? Yeah. That you can prevent someone who's like, oh, I can't afford that. But I've seen people who smoke, they'll sell their shit to get cigarettes. They don't care.
Yeah, well, like, my parents, in the 80s and 90s living in Canada, you smoke a lot of cigarettes. That's just how it is. And the Indigenous in Canada have reservations, and they don't pay tax on anything if you live on a res. And anyways, they would go to the res to buy cigarettes because you don't pay tax and you save a lot of money. And the cops would be stanced up outside of the res. Another ad, nice. Ready to pull you over to make sure that you didn't buy cigarettes at the res. Because everyone did. And then you go to the res, you give them your money for the cigarettes. They don't pay the tax. You get your cigarettes. It's whatever. You get pulled over by the cops on the way out. They take your cigarettes, and you get fined. So you're really just paying tax with extra steps.
Yeah.
But, they enforce the shit out of that. For tax money. They don't care. They're not taking your cigarettes because you are smoking them. They're taking your cigarettes because you didn't pay the government.
To pay the government for your cigarettes. And it's like they're doing the same thing with marijuana. And it's like, I support the marijuana tax just because I've heard like a lot of like I like local cities in Colorado have a higher tax of like marijuana, and they'll take that and build a school. They'll take that and pay for.
They have so much tax money that can help people now. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes for social services because it's just extra. It's like that extra money allowed this hospital to get more computers, and it's like that's great.
My problem with smoking is once you're addicted to something, you're dependent on it, and now you're exploiting them for money.
Yeah,
which is just
Speaking of gun violence, it just happened outside.
Nice. We love that. Anyways, we got to get ending this stream soon. I need some fucking water.
All right. Well,
but
I think
that
we
was
had
a really good stream. Oh yeah.
We covered a lot of topics. I can't wait for some naysayers to watch it back and be like, fuck, the CDC? What better sources do I have than that?
Oh, yeah. Let me compare it to Poland. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, let me compare it to fucking, like, the Germany who hasn't had guns since the 40s.
In like 3 days, this VOD will be on YouTube, edited, of course, but barely because we don't roll like that.
It's a fucking podcast.
It's a podcast,
to listen
bro.
For hours.
Oh yeah.
Like I hate watching podcasts and then having to change it and like fucking mess with my phone when I want to play until I forget about it and it's like, oh shit, why is this still playing and close? That's the whole point.
Exactly.
Like I listen to podcasts on my way to work, at work, when I don't need to be listening to people, like all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's just like a nice thing.
Oh yeah. And just to finish up the podcast, the Los Angeles Rams just won the Super Bowl.
Did they?
Of 2022, yeah.
I totally forgot the Super Bowl is happening today.
Oh yeah.
The Rams won?
Yep.
Nice. I don't really care, to be honest, because I don't know, but I know a couple people who do care.
Yeah, as long as Tom Brady ain't there, I'm happy. So.
Well, I think it was like people were trying to tell me about like the Super Bowl's this Sunday, and I'm like, the Super Bowl's this Sunday?
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking know. Like I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I'm not a football guy. I'm a hockey guy. I don't know.
Well, it's just the Super Bowl is just irrelevant nowadays. I think.
Kind of is. Well, no one that I know really watches it unless their team's in it. And it used to be we'd watch it every year, no matter who it was, because the commercials were good. But now the commercials kind of suck a little bit more than they used to. So.
Yeah, I remember the Eagles. Like I watched the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles one I watched. Yeah, that was a good fucking game.
Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't interest me. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, you're not really a sports guy.
Like the only sports I like are combat sports because I think they actually are interesting. Like there's a purpose.
They're fun to watch.
And you don't support a team; you support a person.
Oh,
which I like a little more. Like you're not supporting. Let's say the I'm not going to say it's a football team. Yeah. Some guy is beating his wife on it and he's still on the team. You're supporting him too when you support that team. Like you're buying their merch, he's getting a paycheck. You're watching their shows, he's getting the pay-per-view, right?
Oh yeah. If
some guy on fucking UFC or whatever fighting thing does that shit, I just don't watch him. I just don't like him. I don't, like, I like to support certain fighters. I think it's cooler, and I think it's just entertaining to watch. Who doesn't like watching someone get knocked the fuck out for your entertainment? Like, why do you think Jackass was so successful? Like,
oh yeah, dude getting kicked in the nuts will always be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It also really always makes you flinch.
True.
And just be like, just like,
Oh yeah.
You worry for yourself for a minute.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm putting my stream on stream ending. It was a very good podcast. Podcast number 2, episode 2 in the bag.
All right. We had a good stream. It was a nice conversation, productive. Oh, and I'm gonna put it on stream ending. All right. Thank you guys for joining in and hanging out in our podcast stream. And for our new viewers, if you want to follow, you're always free to do so.
Oh yeah. Feel free to sub to the YouTube. This VOD will be going up soon.
Yeah, you want to watch the beginning parts without going through Twitch's VODs, in a day it'll be up, a couple days it'll be up on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
See you gamers later.
We're Canadians. What the fuck do you expect?